This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football.
WHLM Bloomsburg, WBWX Berwick.
HLM.
With the high school football season kicking off here at Charlie Trivey Stadium in Yatesville. It's the Bulldogs against the Pittston area Patriots. Starting lineup offensively for Berwick. The tight end will see number 9, Blaine Cleaver. He's a 6'3", 219-pound junior. We'll also see number 36, Dallas Schechterly. He's 5'11", 205, a senior. Jake Lanning starts at left tackle. He wears number 65. He is 6'2", 225 pounds, a junior. Aaron Cashman is the starting left guard. He wears number 52. Aaron is 5'10", 248, a senior. Another senior mans the center position, number 66, Nick Heimbaugh. He's 5'11", 215 pounds. The right guard is number 79, Noah Craig. 5'11", 257 pounds, a senior. Getting a start at right tackle is going to be number 77, Jordan Young. He is 6'1", 237, a junior. He saw considerable action last Saturday, alternating with Mike Zalutko. Of course, plays linebacker and plays it so well. So they'll give Young a start. We'll see if Zalutko works in as the night progresses. At one wide receiver, number 4, Sean Sheptock. 6'2", 202, a junior. A couple of catches last week against Abington Heights. Also, we'll see a player we didn't see in the opener because of injury. Number 11, Preston Robbins. He's 5'10", 157, a senior. 6 catches a year ago for 140 yards and a touchdown. Tegan Wilk figures to be a force in this offense. He is a 5'11", 186-pound senior. Modest numbers last week against Abington Heights, but he is more than capable. 202 yards rushing, 233 yards in passing receptions a year ago. The quarterback is number 10, Ryan Lawbaugh. 6', 184-pound senior. Last week, 6 for 12 in passing for 73 yards. He did have one pass intercepted. The Bulldogs did not run the ball as well as they hoped to during the course of the season. Just 18 yards on 9 carries for Lawbaugh, who is a running threat from that quarterback spot. At the tailback, number 16, Aiden Mason. He is 5'10", 212 pounds, a sophomore. Had a 52-yard touchdown run against Abington Heights, the biggest play of that opening game for the Bulldogs. All told, 11 carries, 80 yards, and 1 touchdown. We'll also see number 5, Blake Maurer, very smooth operator from a running back position or a wide receiver position. 5'8", 162-pound junior. 5 carries for 44 yards against Abington Heights. Also caught a pass for 12 yards. The fullback, who scored 2 touchdowns in the opener, number 42, Eric Montez. He is 6'1", 235 pounds, a senior. That is his starting lineup offensively for Berwick under Carmen DiFrancesco in his first year as head coach, but his 23rd year as a head coach at the high school level. Bulldogs come in 1-0 with that 28-6 win over Abington Heights last Saturday afternoon. For the Patriots, the Pittston area. At the tight end, number 3, Alex Anastasi. He is 6', 190 pounds, a senior. He actually played quarterback against Berwick. The last team these teams played in the postseason playoffs because their regular quarterback was injured. At the tight end, we also might see number 26, John Simons. He is 6', 215, a junior. John Galonis, number 63, starts at left tackle. 6'1", 235, a senior. Hugh Bentham, number 70, is the left guard. 5'9", 230, a senior. Tegan Raboli, number 64, starts at center for the Patriots. He is 5'11", 201 pounds, a junior. The right guard is number 60, Adrian Colon. 5'9", 230, a senior. And the right tackle, number 79, Stephen Yanchis, 6'3", 286, a sophomore. At a wide receiver position, number 6, Andrew Krafchick, 6'2", 175, a senior. 3 catches for 42 yards and 2 touchdowns against Nanticoke last week. In his junior season, a year ago, led the team in receiving yards for 79, touchdowns 70, 4 special teams and defense as well. Probably the best player with the red, white, blue Patriots, Andrew Krafchick. The quarterback is returning starter from a year ago. Number 7, Mike Massimo. 5'11", 160 pounds, a senior. Modest numbers against Nanticoke in the opener, 8 for 14, 90 yards, 2 touchdowns, though, both to Krafchick. A season ago, he completed 50% of his passes for 1,184 yards, 14 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions. The leading rusher on this team, as he was a year ago and he was in their opener for this season, number 22, Dylan Lakachko. He is 5'8", 150 pounds, a senior. Against Nanticoke in that opener, 16 carries for 95 yards. The fullbacks, number 24, Franny Young. He's 5'10", 190, a senior. And the flanker, number 4, Brennan Higgins. He is 6'1", 170, a senior. That is the starting lineup offensively for the Patriots of Pittston area under Nick Barbarian, his 3rd season as head coach. I mentioned his dad, Bob, was a coach here. Bob was recently inducted into the District 2 Hall of Fame. Joining him, and the inductees of the Hall of Fame for this year is Bo Orlando, the athletic director and defensive back for the Bulldogs. So it's Pittston area against Berwick. The keys to tonight's game, Andy Lickney.
Well, for Pittston, Jim, I think they need to keep their balanced offensive attack going. Last week, 129 yards on the ground, 90 in the air. About as balanced as you can hope to be against Nanticoke. However, Nanticoke's not Berwick. They're going to see a much stiffer defense. But they did like the running of number 22, Dylan Lakachko. He's a veteran. He's been, here before. 16 carries, 95 yards for him, so almost a 100-yard game in that opener. And they'd like to establish him, keep the run going so they can pass off of it. You mentioned Mike Nacito, solid quarterback, 8 of 14, great numbers in the opener, 90 yards. And I think they have to keep an eye on the do-everything guy, Andrew Kravchuk. He's a guy who scores touchdowns. He makes plays happen. They'll throw to him. Defensively, he'll find ways to make plays. They might even have him run the ball. So I think have an awareness of where Andrew Kravchuk is. Don't let him hurt you. Play the run and play the quarterback's passing game pretty balanced. So Berwick's key in stopping that. Don't overcommit either way on pass and run. I think you have to come with a controlled charge, watch the running lanes, and then if pass shows, continue on into the quarterback. There'll be enough time to get at him. But keep the areas of responsibility in mind. Don't over-pursue. Don't go for that one big play. And, Berwick certainly has the personnel to, play very, very solid defense. Flip it around. Berwick still has to establish its running game. They're still able to pass, but you'll pass better if the running game is going. You might have gone through the numbers, but if you take Aiden Mason's 52-yard sprint away, the 39 other rushes averaged only 3.2 yards a carry. And that's just not strong enough. They need more than that in their running game, and they know it. I talked with Coach Carm DiFrancesco about adjustments. He mentioned that they want to do a few things with their center. They want to be able to get him to the linebacker level rather than the man nearest. They feel it's a very basic adjustment. That should help them out. They're looking at going where they can spread this team with bigger splits in a basic 5-2 defense, and they hope to be able to get their trapping game going. They like the way that their guards play. Noah Craig coming down on people, or Aaron Cashman. They're superior linemen. They like to kick out with them and be able to use that. If they do so, then things are going to open up a lot more for Aiden Mason, who just didn't have the holes last week, and for the running quarterback, Ryan Laubaugh. And don't forget about scats backs like Blake Marr and even Devin Smith when he gets the opportunity. So Berwick's there. What can Pittston do to stop it? Well, they've been solid. They held Nanticoke last week to 8 points. They should be proud of that. They have some standout defenders. They really like the play of the nose guard, Hugh Bentham. They like the linebacking of Franny George, is sort of a superstar type of player. And in the secondary, 2 of the 4 are well above average. And Brennan Higgins at safety, and to do everything, Andrew Kravchuk at corner. So they feel they have the personnel to be able to put it together. Can they match up with Berwick physically? Well, that we're going to have to see as we get into this matchup. But everyone's optimistic early in the year. It is their home field. They're used to the grass. They're used to the crowd on this field. No one's injured for their team. They hope to pull the upset.
Berwick has made their appearance on the far side of the field, wearing the white jerseys, white pants, white helmets, blue numerals, and trim. And we're waiting the arrival of the Pittston area Patriots, who'll be wearing the red, white, blue We are playing at Charlie Trippi Stadium, named for the man that was called the best college football player ever when he played at Georgia. One opposing coach called him that. That opposing coach, Paul Bear Bryant. So that bears some comparison. But Charlie Trippi, we're happy to say, still doing well in Athens, Georgia at 97 years old. He is the oldest living number 1 draft pick in the NFL. He was picked number 1 back in 1945. He had a great career here at Pittston, at Georgia, and then in the NFL with the then Chicago Cardinals. And, boy, talk about some history with a name for a stadium. He is it. In doing the research today, the only thing I couldn't pin down, I'd love to know this, Berwick, of course, had an NFL player, and a good one, in Paul Stanko, who passed away in 2003. Paul's NFL career and Charlie Trippi's NFL career ran over one another, so there's a good chance, although I can't verify it, that they played against one another a time or two. Andy, you probably remember Paul Stanko when you were coaching. He was a referee.
He was refereeing quite a bit. We'd often see him up at Northwest. Things would get a little rough up there. They'd put him at umpire, and he'd just throw people around if they got a little unruly. He knew how to handle a game.
Paul was a graduate of Villanova University and then went on to a 10-year career in the NFL. The Bulldogs against the Patriots, back with a kickoff. You're listening to Berwick Football and Sports Radio HLM.
Where do you go when your vehicle needs service? Who do you trust when it comes to keeping your vehicle performing at its best? Ken Pollock Ford, your neighborhood service center. Stop in, relax, catch up with old friends, and get the works for $29.95. Our certified techs will change your oil, rotate your tires, perform a vehicle checkup, and top off all your fluids. That's everyday low pricing. Don't worry about the emblem on the hood. The works is valid on any make and any model. That's service at Ken Pollock Ford. Schedule online at kenpollockford.com or stop in and see us. Route 11 Berwick.
Are you looking to meet an elder care need? Do you or a loved one need assistance with any of the instrumental or basic activities of daily living? Brookdale Senior Living has a solution. Brookdale Bloomsburg, located at 420 Schaefer Road, is a premium personal care home offering a family atmosphere along with round-the-clock nursing care. Call 570-387-6868 to learn more. Better yet, we invite you to drop in and meet the Brookdale family and learn how we can offer an optimum aging experience for you or a loved one.
How does free and easy checking with no baggage sound? Well, there is a little baggage. The free rolling duffel bag you get when you sign up for free and easy checking with First Columbia Bank. Not only will you get a checking account with no monthly fees and free online and mobile banking, First Columbia will also buy back your unused checks and debit cards from your old bank. Plus, for a limited time, you will receive a free Travelers Club rolling duffel bag when you open a checking account or refer a friend to us. First Columbia Bank, with you every step of the way. Restrictions and data rates may apply.
S.J. Kowalski Heating and Air Conditioning sells comfort. Since 1972, S.J. Kowalski understands the importance of doing business locally. They service what they sell and take pride in customer satisfaction. S.J. Kowalski is a trained comfort specialist, a Lennox dealer, and they are Northeastern Pennsylvania's premier dealer of Mitsubishi ductless mini split systems. S.J. Kowalski also sells and installs energy-efficient Rinnai water heaters and geothermal systems. Call 1-888-KOWALSKI and ask about special promotions and zero-interest financing.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football.
WHLM Bloomsburg, WBWX Berwick.
HLM.
Pittston area won the toss, deferred to the second half, so we'll see Berwick's offense to get this one started. The officiating crew for tonight's game, James Elliott is the referee. The umpire is James Miller. David Elliott, the linesman. Jim Trusky is the line judge. Jim Dorr is the field judge. Mike McEwen is the side judge.
You know, you mentioned Paul Stanko, Jim, and I have to show the other side of the guy. I might have told this one on radio once or twice. I had a busman's holiday. It was a Saturday game. Shenandoah Valley was playing, and my Tigers weren't, so I went to see Shenandoah play, my alma mater. And Paul Stanko was there officiating with the crew as the umpire. Well, at halftime, they're sitting over in a sort of a bus garage area, cooling off, and I had my little daughter with me, about 1.5 years old, and there's Paul Stanko, known as the meanest man in pro football. He grabbed a hold of her, bounced her on her knee, and it was the most paternal look I ever saw a guy have. It was just so loving, and she loved it too.
He was a great man.
Yeah.
I heard a story. He was refereeing a Votech game, and there was a fight between two players. He picked both of them up in the air.
He can do it. He can do it.
Their legs are kicking, but that's it.
Yeah.
Berwick moving from our right to our left as we view things. Deep is Tegan Wilk, along with Blake Maurer and Aiden Mason. They'll be looking into the sun now as kicking off will be Anthony Thomas, a junior for the Pittston area Patriots, waiting for the signal from the officiating crew. He approaches the ball. This one is underway. The kick goes the far side. Aiden Mason at the 11-yard line, to the 15, to the 20. Hit hard as against the 25-yard line. The ball is loose, and Pittston area has the football at the 20-yard line. Big hit on Aiden Mason. He coughs it up, and the Patriots have a big break early.
Two men converged, and eventually the ball springs away, and Ed Murdoch comes up with the recovery. He thought he had a lane, but two guys managed to hit him at the same time behind the blockers. Springs the ball loose, and Murdoch there for the recovery.
Berwick defensively will line up with Eric Montez, Stolbinski, Mason Lawbaugh, and Anthony Sisko as the front four. Will check the rest of the defense after this, but the Patriots 1st and 10, their own 20-yard line. Anastasi shifts to a tight end position on the right. I formation, rolling right as Nacito fires a pass long downfield, incomplete. Great coverage down around the goal line. Tegan Wilk and Blaine Cleaver both down there on the intended receiver, Brendan Higgins. The Bulldogs linebackers, Mike Zalutko and Dallas Schechterly. Weak safety, Ryan Lawbaugh. Blaine Cleaver's the strong safety. The corners, Sean Sheptock and Devin Smith. And the free safety is Tegan Wilk. 2nd and 10. Patriots at the Bulldog 20-yard line. Now Lakachko is the lone running back. There's a wide receiver to either side. Lakachko gets the call up the middle, looking for room. Not much there. He'll get 2, maybe 3 to the 17-yard line.
Nice play by the defensive end, Anthony Sisko. He's on the left side. Play goes away, and he follows it in the backfield. When the running back, Lakachko, tried to cut back, that defensive end, Sisko, was there to stop it for just about a yard gain.
3rd down, and they give him 3 on the play to the 17-yard line. 3rd down and 7. Banana bunch of 3 receivers to the right. Out of the gun, Nacito has the snap, fires over the middle, incomplete, too high for the intended target, Andrew Kravchik. So now a 4th and 7 from the Berwick 17-yard line.
No field goal unit coming out. High schoolers often struggle. Well, we do see a change of personnel out there now, Jimmy.
And we don't see their place kicker, Matt Soy, who was 4 for 4 in extra points. So we'll see how they play it from the 17-yard line. Pisano will do the holding, and it will be the kickoff man, Anthony Thomas, a junior, who will attempt this field goal of 34 yards. Snap placement, kick is away. It's long enough, and the kick is no good. No good off to the left. So Berwick dodges a bullet early after the fumble in the opening kickoff. They hold the Patriots. Field goal no good, and the Bulldogs will take over for their first possession.
Well, Berwick needs to regroup. The defense held, made a strong hold there. Pittston comes away with no points. The offense will get the ball about the point where the fumble had occurred, so no damage from it. It's hard sometimes for a running back like Aiden Mason to put a fumble behind him. He needs to do so.
Bulldogs with the football at their own 20-yard line with a 1st and 10. Again, moving from our right to our left. Ryan Lawbaugh operating out of the gun. Has the snap. Gives the ball off to Aiden Mason. Tries the left side. Picks up about 4 to the 24. Pittston area to 3-4 linemen. Steven Yanchez, Hugh Bentham, Adrian Colon, the front 3. Outside linebackers, Franny George and Alex Hoban. Inside, John Simons and Brian Herron. The corners, Dylan Lakachko and Andrew Kravchik. The safeties, Brennan Higgins and Alex Anastasi.
Brennan Higgins came up very nicely to stop that play from going any further. Had the look of a wide play. Aiden Mason went north-south, and safety met him.
2nd and 6, Berwick from the 24-yard line. Beretta comes in motion, fake handoff. Wabaugh, the quarterback, keeps it up the middle, short of the first down yardage. He is over the 25 to the 27-yard line. Going to bring up 3rd down, about 3.
Alex Hoban grabbing him for the tackle, but he fights for about 3 more. Berwick is in that nice position with the 3rd and 3 where it's run or pass. Ball's on the left hash. They haven't tried any speed plays to the outside yet. They have a lot of options here on 3rd and 3.
Berwick brings in Mike Zalutko into that offense. See where he lines up as Berwick facing a 3rd down and 3 from the 27-yard line.
Right tackle for Zalutko.
Wabaugh under center. Gives the ball to Mason, looking for the first down yardage. He has it as he gets over the 30 out to the 33-yard line. John Simons on the stop. Aiden Mason, who in that touchdown run last Saturday afternoon showed both power and speed. He ran over 2 or 3 tacklers and then outran the secondary. He's got a good combination of both. 6 yards on that carry. 1st and 10, Berwick at their own 33.
When things weren't opening, though, I would have liked to have seen him put his head down and drive. There, on the counter tray coming to the left, it didn't open up. He just put his head down and pushed everybody.
Double tight end alignment. Mason the call up the gut. Gets just to the 35-yard line before he's brought down. Pickup of a couple on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 8. Brian Herron coming from his linebacker position to make the play for the Patriots.
Counter tray again, bringing the right side of the line over to the left and then running power straight ahead there. They bolted ahead on the 3rd and 3 play. This time, Pittston area is able to stuff it up.
Antonio Beretta wide to the right, slot to the left. Sean Sheptock outside of Tegan Wilk. Wilk now goes in motion and flags and whistles before this one could really get going.
Yeah, and they show jet sweep as Tegan Wilk comes in motion. They're going to time the snap to put it in his belly as he crosses underneath. So it's against the Bulldogs with a false start. Plus you tip your hand, and the play you hope can go big with the speed of Tegan Wilk is shown, and you're probably not going to run it again.
2nd down and 13, Bulldogs at their own 30. 8 minutes, 35 seconds to go in a scoreless first quarter. Both teams coming off season opening wins. Berwick 28-6 over Abington Heights. Pittston area 30-8 right here last Friday night over Nanticoke area.
No passing yet. They're not really shifting their safety toward the twin receivers to cover it well.
3 receivers to left. A quick out to Sean Sheptock. Blockers out in front over the 35, the 40, and we'll see where they mark it. A quick hitter to Sean Sheptock, who is the fastest of the Bulldogs. And they take advantage of that speed here with the quick out, blockers out in front.
And a defensive hole as well. They're not really widening that much toward the twin receivers flanked out wide or jingling the safety over. He didn't come over until the motion man came. So I think you're out-manning them in the passing game. And that quick little slip screen to Sean Sheptock following the other receivers as blockers. Gains a nice 6, 7, 8. Well, there was the penalty, so.
They give him 9 yards to the 39-yard line, bringing up 3rd down and 4 for the Bulldogs. 1 running back, Aiden Mason, gets the call off the right side, has the first down, then some running over tacklers out to midfield. The power of Aiden Mason that time as he picks up 11 yards on the carry and a Berwick first down.
Yeah, give him 23 yards on his 4 carries, and I feel he's running better with more attitude in this game. He's not waiting for things to show. That was going to be a little wider. Instead of turning it into a sweep, he planned it, broke inside of a linebacker, went north-south, and then, as you mentioned, dropped the shoulder when he got to the secondary level, delivered the blow.
Berwick on their first possession of the game. Started at their 20. They're now at midfield. 2 blocking backs to the right. Mason deep in the backfield gets the call off that right side. Has run him up to the 45. Cuts it outside the 35. Down the far sideline, 25, 20, and finally ridden out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Aiden Mason off the left side with a big gain.
You mentioned the 2 blocking backs like wing backs off the right side. One was Eric Montez, who took the outside linebacker by himself out of the play. The other sort of helped double down and clean out. And Aiden Mason had a huge hole. Once he got through the right side, cut back against the grain, used the speed. And that was a wonderful run.
37 yards on the carry by Aiden Mason. He gets a breather now. Blake Mowers, the running back to the right of Ryan Lawbaugh, who operates out of the gun with a slot to the left and a wide receiver right. From the Pittston area 13, Wilk in motion. A give to him. He tries to sweep the right side, looking for room, turns the corner and forced out of bounds near the line of scrimmage. Defended well by the Patriots, strung that one out very well as Wilk not able to make a quick cut.
His blockers didn't give the very best effort, but he still got 7 yards just on his own ability. As he took it and was stringing it out, he was moving a little forward, a little further, a little forward each time. Then eventually danced on the sideline before going down the deep crown in the field off that far sideline.
2nd down and 3 near the 6-yard line. Blake Maurer deep in the backfield as the running back. The blocking backs are to the left. He gets the handoff, looks to the right, dances a bit, and is knocked back close to the first down yardage. We'll see where they mark it.
Not sure they ran that where they wanted to go. Zalutko is in the backfield along with Eric Montez. That's a lot of power. They were set to the left over the guard and tackle. They'll give him the first down. I think I'd run behind those power backs if given the option.
1st and goal, Berwick at the 5-yard line. Trying to get on the board here. Montez and Zalutko, the blocking backs to the left. Maurer, the lone running back deep in the backfield, gets the call. He's following that blocking. And he is in for a touchdown off the left side. Blake Maurer follows the blocking of Eric Montez and Mike Zalutko, and Berwick's on the board first.
Yeah, instead of going away from the power with the play call now follows the power. You know, they're strong on the line with Jake Lanning, Aaron Cashman, Nick Heimbaugh. But then you put Montez and Zalutko behind that, and it's just a power play from there. They're going to score. Blake Maher's the guy who gets the glory out of it.
Brendan Hinkle, a sophomore, 4 for 4 last week at Abington Heights at extra points. Will try to tack one on. The kick is up, and the kick is no good. No good. Timeout on the field. 6:47 to go in the opening quarter. Berwick 6, Pittston area nothing. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Sweet deals in summer don't last long. And at Ken Pollock Ford, America's best-selling lineup is selling fast during the Hurry Up and Save sales event. We've got something for everyone, from fast sports cars and sedans made for cruising to comfy crossovers and functional F-150s. See why we're the brand with the most 5-star reviews. Build Ford proud and made for you. Let Ken Pollock Ford sweeten the deal. Count on hassle-free, transparent sales and financing fit for what works for you. Ken Pollock Ford, your neighborhood Ford dealer. Route 11 Berwick or KenPollockFord.com.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football.
WHLM Bloomsburg, WBWX Berwick.
HLM.
What a drive by Berwick on their first possession. 10 plays, 80 yards. Blake Maurer goes the last 5 for the touchdown. It's a 6-0 Berwick lead as Eric Montez gets set to kick off.
Just one pass on that, a 9-yarder to Sean Sheptock, who caught it behind the line of scrimmage and ran with it from there. So Berwick wanted to establish the running game. They most certainly did on that first drive.
3 people deep for the Patriots as Montez kick very, very high. Brahim Patterson fields at the 10-yard line to the 15, to the 20, to the 25, and Alejandro Lopez wraps him up over the 30 and about the 32-yard line.
Wonderful form tackle, Jim. You kind of wait, broke down, man came to him, got low, exploded up, and brought him down to the ground in the left shoulder. Really nice-looking form tackle.
Second possession for Pittston area. They had it at the Berwick 20 on their first. Couldn't get any further than the 17. Here they have it at their own 32-yard line for their second possession. Dylan Lakachko is the lone running back, as Mike Nacito under center. The give is to Lakachko up the middle. They have some running room, and he's tripped up as he gets to the 40-yard line. Quick hitter and a nice hole for Lakachko.
Ryan Lawbaugh had to come from the outside linebacker in to make the play. We're seeing that one of Berwick's stars, defensive tackle Mason Lawbaugh, is facing a lot of double teams. And normally you welcome that. He's not really giving that much ground. We'll move him a little bit. But then other people should be unblocked. It shouldn't be Ryan Lawbaugh making that tackle.
Second down and 3 after the 7-yard run by Lukachko, who is the tailback in the I formation now. Nacito fakes to him. He rolls to his left. He fires. He has Franny George for a first down, and George gets out to the 49-yard line. So 10 yards on the passing play. Mike Nacito to Franny George, and a 1st and 10 for the Patriots.
Yeah, Tegan Wilk chasing him out there, making the short tackle. He was very open. Real nice bootleg action. Defensive end or the outside linebacker, who's ever responsible by the defense, called lost contain. So he was able to roll freely to the left and find his receiver, Franny George.
George, who caught that pass, is the fullback ahead of Lukachko in the I formation. There's a slot to the right. First down from the 49. Play action, roll right, and a sack back in the 37-yard line. Ryan Lawbaugh coming from the weak safety position. No chance for Nacito.
Yeah, weak safety, weak side linebacker. That term weak is just a question if you're not to the formation, you're opposite of it. He's freed up the blitz. I think he was coming on a designated blitzing call. And even though Nacito wanted to roll to the right, Ryan Lawbaugh showed tremendous speed, outran him before he can get his roll going. That's a loss of about 12.
Loss of 10 back to the 39-yard line. Second down and 20. Trips to the right side. Rolling right is Nacito. Throws to the far side. Has a man. Completion to Anastasi. Breaks one tackle and is brought down at the 46-yard line. They pick up about 7 to the tight end, Alex Anastasi. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 13.
Yeah, they set it up nice. Tight end screen where the tight end's going to back up. The line's going to get in front of him. They let that rush come. They know Berwick has a frantic rush coming. But they timed it well, delivered it well, and he got a good 7 yards or so, but not enough to near the chains.
3rd down, 13 for the Patriots. Nacito will operate out of the gun with trips to the right side. He rolls to his right. He fires, and Lukachko makes the catch, and he's brought down right at the 49-yard line. Good play by Blaine Cleaver, bringing George down right after the ball got into his hands. It'll be just a 3-yard pickup. 4th and 10, punting situation for Pittston area.
Yeah, he came on out just about 2 yards. Blaine Cleaver staying with him in nice coverage. Knows that he needs about another 10 or so. Brings him down cleanly, 10 yards short of the chains.
Tegan Wilk, Blake Maurer, deep for the Bulldogs, anticipating the punt from Andrew Kravchik. Brennan Higgins with the snap. It's a good one. And Kravchik forced to run with the football as Berwick's coming hard on him. He keeps the football, and he's going to be buried back in the 36-yard line. Kravchik, for some reason, didn't think he could get that punt away. It was not a fake by any means. And Berwick buries him, and the Bulldogs take over in great field position at the Pittston area 36-yard line.
I don't know if he had fake punt in his mind, Jim, but he's going to need 10 yards. I'm sure the coaches didn't call it. He was going to go to the short side of the field. I don't think he should have felt that pressure that he couldn't get it away. Even then, he sidesteps the first man, and he could have at least, pushed it on downfield some rather than take the 10, 12-yard loss. Poor decision on the part of Andrew Kravchik.
3:26 to go in the opening quarter. Berwick with a 6-0 lead, and the Bulldogs with an opportunity to add to that lead as they take over at the Pittston area 36-yard line. Ryan Lawbaugh under center. He has a wing to either side. Montez is the lone running back behind him. And rolling right to throw is Lawbaugh, looking downfield, cocks the arm, a wobbler downfield. The ball is caught by Schechterle and goes in for a touchdown. Defenders all around Dallas Schechterle. The ball wobbling in the air. Somehow he makes the grab and gets the score from 36 yards out.
The roll to the right was almost in slow motion. He wasn't really hurried, so he wanted to save sideline. I think he thought about running, but he felt he wasn't being pressured enough, and then eventually saw Schechterle way down there. There were people away who were going to make up yardage while the ball's in the air. It's high. Schechterle's able to jump high, catch it in the chest, and he's in the end zone.
Brendan Hinkle out of the hold of Tegan Wilk will attempt the extra point. The kick is up, and the kick is good. Time out of the field. 3:15 to go in the opening quarter. Berwick 13, Pittston area nothing. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Welsh's Towing and Repair proudly supports the Berwick Bulldogs and wishes them a successful year. Welsh's Towing and Repair has a long tradition of helping. You can call Welsh's 24/7 at 759-9737 if you are in need of a tow, jump start, tire change, are locked out, or to request them on scene if you're in an accident. Welsh's accepts all major insurance and motor clubs, and they offer all types of preventive maintenance and state inspections for cars, trucks, and motorcycles. Welsh's Towing and Repair, South Mercer Street in Berwick, and at their South Center Storage Facility, Columbia Boulevard in Berwick.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football.
WHLM Bloomsburg, WBWX Berwick.
HLM.
2 for 2 for the Berwick offense in this one. 2 possessions, 2 scores, 13-0 Bulldogs, 3:15 to go in this opening quarter. The sun has gone behind the clouds here at Charlie Trippi Stadium as Eric Montez kicks off. Brahim Patterson will get another opportunity. This one from the 8-yard line to the 10, to the 15, to the 20, wrapped up at about the 25-yard line. So Patterson on the return. Stas Hughes makes the stop on special teams for the Bulldogs.
Kicking toward the sideline. In fact, I wonder if it's not caught if they let it bounce. If it goes out, they probably have better field position, but you don't want to risk that. But Berwick is able to keep a limited return where he has to run on his side of the hash mark as the 10 men and kicker converge on him, giving him nowhere to run.
1st and 10 for the Patriots. Moving from our left to our right in this opening quarter. They have it at their own 26-yard line. Lukashko, the lone running back. He gets the call, and he's hit behind the line. Blaine Cleaver makes an offensive play for the Bulldogs.
Yes, he does. Outside linebacker on the formation side. Might have been in a designated blitz, switching assignments of contain and rush with the defensive end on his side. Slid through very quickly, got depth, makes the tackle 1 yard deep.
2nd down and 12 for Pittston area, back at their 24-yard line. Franny George lines up on a wing to the left side. Nacito out of the gun. Fakes to Lukashko, rolls right, fires across his body, into traffic, and Brennan Higgins goes up, makes a nice catch near the 35-yard line.
Number 3, Alex
Anastasi, Jim, number 3 with that, but it was really nice. People are working on him from behind and from the side, but he makes the catch for a 10-yard gain, just short of the chains.
Yeah, they're going to give him 11 to the 35-yard line. Alex Anastasi, the tight end, with an 11-yard grab. 3rd down and a yard. Lukashko deep in the backfield, gets the call, hit behind the line of scrimmage. He will lose yardage back near the 31-yard line. Mason Lawbaugh coming hard for the Bulldogs, among others.
So let's go crashing in there, and Schechterly, the 2 inside linebackers, blitzing on each side of Mason Lawbaugh. Preston Robbins has been in for this past series, Jim, at quarterback. He suffered an injury, wasn't able to dress last week, but getting some reps now at corner.
They give him forward progress to near the 34-yard line, so it's 4th down and 2. Kravchik back to do the punting. Blake Maurer, Tegan Wilk deep for the Bulldogs. Good snap. Gets the kick away. Line drive kick. Blake Maurer at the Berwick 32-yard line. Looking for some blocking. Gets by one man to the 40 and still on his feet out to the 43-yard line. Nice return by Maurer. And the Bulldogs will get it for the 3rd time in this first quarter with 57 seconds to go. And they've scored on their first 2 possessions and lead this one 13-0.
Blake Maurer did a lot of that without the blocking, Jim. Sometimes you get down in punt formation, you don't have the angles. You're going to hit people in the back or hold them. So he had to do some dancing to get the room that he did before Brahim Patterson brings him down. A nice return.
1st and 10, Berwick at their own 43-yard line. Officials conferring before the Bulldogs can get over the football. Not privy to this discussion, obviously.
Not moving the football. Going to mention something to the coaches. No. Just a little slow in getting it going.
I just wanted to talk.
57 seconds on that clock. They'll start it now.
Berwick from their own 43-yard line. Montez is the lone running back behind Ryan Lawbaugh. There's a wing to either side. Tegan Wilk comes in motion from the wing, gets the handoff, sweeps the right side over midfield, has the first down at the Pittston area 45-yard line. So Tegan Wilk lined up in a wing to the left side, came in motion, took the handoff, and picked up the Berwick first down. They mark it at the Pittston area 46-yard line, so 11 yards on the carry by Tegan Wilk.
Really a nice run. Yeah, they bring him in motion a lot. He's often just a distractor to the play, and what a distractor he is. Give him the ball, though, on 2 occasions, a 7-yard run and an 18-yarder, or 18 yards total after that 11-yarder.
And again, he's on a wing to the left side. The call goes straight ahead to Eric Montez, the fullback running hard, is down near the 40-yard line. Good first down carry on what may be the final play of this opening quarter. So Montez gets the carry. They marked it to 46 yards on the carry. And that is the end of the opening quarter with the score. Berwick 13, Pittston area nothing. You're listening to Berwick Football on Sports Radio HLN.
If you have a child that's interested in gymnastics, or if you've been practicing the sport for years, then Access Gymnastics Academy is where you want to be. Their dedicated coaches will teach you everything you need to know to perform your best, from the basics of flexibility, form, and style to advanced techniques that will improve your rhythm and style during a routine. Call Heidi Rebuck at Access Gymnastics Academy at 570-441-5969. That's 570-441-5969. Now enrolling for beginner to advanced classes at 917 East 7th Street in Bloomsburg.
Berwick Bulldog football.
In HLM Sports, Anvil and Loyalsock are tied at 0 in the first quarter. In the second quarter, Central Columbia leads Shikellamy 3-0, and in the first quarter, Mifflinburg and Bloomsburg are tied at 7. For WHLM Sports, I'm Raven Klein.
Berwick Bulldog football. HLM.
Has scored in their first 2 possessions after an inauspicious start to this game. Bulldogs fumbling the opening kickoff, giving Pittston area the ball at the Berwick 20, but since then, it's been all Bulldogs. Power football for the most part, although there was a long touchdown pass to Dallas Schechterle, along with a 5-yard touchdown run by Blake Bauer, 1 of 2 in extra points by Brendan Hinkle. 13-0 Berwick. They have good field position to start this second quarter. They have a 2nd down and 4. They have it at the Pittston area 40-yard line. The Bulldogs move from our left to our right in this second quarter.
No ready for play signal yet. Clock is still stuck at the 25 seconds after the timeout for the quarter. Still not running. Ryan Lawbaugh, even after the timeout, looking to see if they want to adjust the play.
A wing to either side. Montez, the lone running back behind Ryan Lawbaugh. Aiden Mason comes in motion, takes the handoff, tries the left side, breaks a tackle, another, down the far sideline, 25-20, at the 15, and ridden out of bounds, close to the goal line on the far side. Aiden Mason in motion from the right wing, gets the handoff, and a big gain for him, and Berwick first and goal.
Wonderful blocking on the play. Motions to the tailback position, follows his fullback from there over the left side. A wingback kind of came over and trapped with a kick out. There was a double down. He's able to shrug away from an arm tackle and then sprint on down that sideline.
37 yards on the carry. The second 37-yard gain he's had already here early in the second quarter. He is the lone running back as Aiden Mason gets the call off the left side, lowers the shoulder, in for the touchdown. Mason in from 3 yards out.
That gives him the 100-yard game on his 7th carry of the game. Strong running after the burst. They reward him with that little plunge off the left side. The blocking's been very strong as Berwick is showing a physical dominance.
So the Bulldogs add to their lead. Aiden Mason will attempt the extra point out of the hold of Tegan Wilk. Jake Lanning does the long snapping for the Bulldogs.
Kicking from the left hash. A little surprising.
Wilk gets the snap, puts it down. The kick is up. The kick is good. Time out of the field. 11:45 to go first half. Berwick 20. Pittston area nothing. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Red's Roofing, the roofing ninjas of Berwick, are your roofing experts for Luzerne, Columbia, and Montour counties. With 26 years of experience and great rates, why go anywhere else when Red's Roofing will get the job done right for your decks, siding, or roofing, specializing in metal and rubber shingles. Most roofing work is done in one day. So remember the name, Red's Roofing, the roofing ninjas. Call Red's Roofing, 752-4351. Owner Harry Titus, a proud supporter of the Berwick football team.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football.
WHLM Bloomsburg, WBWX Berwick.
HLM.
Bulldogs of Berwick have scored on every first half possession. This first half still has 11:45 to go, and the Bulldogs lead Pittston area 20-0 as Eric Montez gets set to kick it off for the Bulldogs.
Kicks have been nice and deep to 10 and 5 yard lines in that area.
His kick will go to Patterson for the third time in this game, back at the 5-yard line. To the 10, to the 15, to the 20, to the 25, and knocked down short of the 30-yard line on the far side of the field.
Like Drayton Wilk getting the first shoulder on in there before Alejandro Lopez helps bring him down.
Drayton, the younger brother of Teagan, and the only ninth grader on this varsity roster for the Bulldogs. So Pittston area will try to get something going. They trail now 20-0 here early in the second quarter. They have it at their own 28-yard line.
They've been moving the quarterback an awful lot. After seeing the Abington Heights film, they realized the pass rush Berwick can come with. So they've been bringing Nacito on bootlegs and rollouts to keep the passing lanes available and trying to run with Dylan Lekochko to keep things honest.
John Simons is on a wing to the left side. Kravchik wide to the left. Sean Shepdock on him. Great matchup. Two terrific athletes there. Nacito looking the opposite direction, fires it downfield, incomplete. Preston Robbins was the closest player to it, made a diving attempt at midfield.
He basically got it 6 yards deep in the shotgun snap, caught it, threw it, and at the same time, he's being drilled to tomahawk chop. Eric Montez in that fast. I don't know how funny or force. Boy, he came in hard.
Dylan Lekochko was not in on that last play. He is the tailback now with Franny George ahead of him. Nacito under center. Wide receiver to either side. Lekochko gets the call, tries the right side and going nowhere. Right at the line of scrimmage. Well, defensively, you can't do it any better than to stop the run and harass the passer on passing plays and cover the receivers. I don't know what else there is, but this is a Berwick defense that is something special.
Yeah, one of the captains, Dallas Schechterly, getting the penetration, whether reading and reacting or on a designated blitz shooting through. Very quick with his action.
Trips to the left on 3rd and 10. Nacito has the snap, rolls to his left. Fires across his body for Kravchik. One-on-one against Shepdock, and Kravchik makes the catch. The first down at the 34-yard line. Terrific adjustment to the football by Andrew Kravchik. Shepdock all over it.
Shepdock runs with him, and he has his back to the play. Kravchik is going to look knowing it's designed to come his way. He sees it slightly underthrown toward the sideline. He takes a little bit of an adjustment in that direction. Sean Shepdock can't locate the ball that quickly, but he's there to make sure that that's all they're going to get.
From the 34-yard line of Berwick, man motion to the right, it's Pisano rolling right as Nacito fires to the far sideline, incomplete. Just threw it away. Kravchik was covered well. But the 38-yard completion from Nacito to Kravchik is put Pittston area in business. They now have a 2nd and 10 at the Berwick 34-yard line.
And they completed it under very good coverage. Sham Shepdock is a shutdown type of guy. He's 6'4" or so, and he has speed that's as good as anybody's on the field. He had good position. They just made a nice adjustment to make the catch.
I formation behind Nocita, who's under center. Play action, back to throw. Sets up a screen to the far side. Has Lukachko down the far sideline. 20 and forced out of bounds across the way. Well, against the ferocious rush that Berwick puts on, that is a terrific play call.
Yes, it is. You want to go with screens. You want to go with the delays, draw-type plays. That time they were able to get Dylan Lukachko out in the little flank, set him on that little banana route, and then the run after the catch was wonderful.
17 yards on the reception. 1st and 10, Pittston area at the Berwick 17-yard line. As the give straight ahead is to Frantic George, the fullback, and he gets inside the 15, down to the 13-yard line.
Not a frequent runner, usually a blocker. 3 carries for 9 yards in the opener, but sometime by surprise you'll pop him. After Lukachko has that nice screen pass, he's going to be a little bit winded, so they alternate with Franny George and get 3.
2nd down and 7 from the Berwick 14-yard line. Again, the I formation. The give is Lukachko. He's got some room off the left side, inside the 10, inside the 5, and ridden out of bounds by Keegan Wilkes. Quick hitter to Dylan Lukachko. There is a flag down the play. I thought I saw some movement on the part of Pittston area. We'll see.
Yeah, thrown by the linesman. So movement at the line of scrimmage. They'll discuss which way. But a disappointing defense there by Berwick. Double dive action. Fullback goes right. Lukachko goes left. And he bounces it. He is through the line untouched, racing down the sideline. Keegan Wilk has to play it somewhat cautiously to make sure he can ride him out of bounds. Will it all come back?
Lukachko has some quicks.
Nice.
He has some good moves and some quickness, but unfortunately for the Patriots, it was a false start. It's a 5-yard penalty back to the 19-yard line. It'll bring up 2nd down and 12.
As a coach, as a player, you hate those. Had nothing to do with the success of the play. It was backside. Often if a player moves or jumps, they often stop and don't even participate. Play came the opposite side of him where the players did excel in their movement. 3
receivers to the right. Lukachko to the right of Nocita, who operates out of the gun. Has the snap, rolls right. Looking, man in pursuit of him, rolls right, fires at the last minute, and it's picked off on the far side. Intercepted by the Bulldogs. A flag flies after the play. Ryan Lawbaugh, no, it's Preston Robbins on the interception, and we'll check the flag.
Yeah, came out a little bit late. Quarterback rolling, his back picked up the the rushing defensive end, gave him enough time to bubble away. But he's fighting the sideline, throws it, and Robbins steps in front. I didn't think they had enough sideline, but it's a little deceptive from our perch. We're a little further from the field. There's a lot of sideline over there that seems to end from our perspective. It's going to be a penalty against Pittston.
Looked like a tripping call is what the referee gave. So it'll be 15 onto that interception by Robbins. Berwick's 3rd pick of this young season. And they have a 1st down at their own 44-yard line with 9:31 to go in the first half, and the Bulldogs lead 20-0.
Robbins unable to go in the opener. Very happy to be back in uniform. Saw him before the game. He said they're kind of going to treat him as if this was a scrim. Get him back into playing shape. Give him a certain number of play counts, but boy, they went right back to him at that corner, and he came up big on that one.
1st and 10, Bulldogs at their own 44-yard line. Lawbaugh has the snap. Gives to Aiden Mason straight ahead. He powers out to the 49-yard line. Solid 5-yard gain on 1st down.
Yeah, I like to see that type of run. Give him a little seam. Commit yourself straight ahead. Run with power. And get almost halfway to that 1st down marker.
2nd down call coming. Keegan Wilkes splits wide to the left. Sean Sheptock wide right. Lawbaugh out of the gun with Aiden Mason to his right. Here comes Wilk in motion. And And a quick out to Sean Sheptock, looking for some blocking. He has the first down to the 45 and gain tackled at the Pittston area 44-yard line. The quick out to Sean Sheptock was effective before, once, and it's effective again.
Yeah, a little different look this time. Instead of sort of the Twins receiver screen, they're bringing Keegan Wilk in motion toward the play. Softer toss as Sean Sheptock is almost as a slot back. So nice, easy pass for Ryan Lawbaugh, who's 3 of 3 passing in this game. And then Sean Sheptock turning it upfield with his size and speed. A tough runner.
6 yards on the reception. 1st and 10 at the Pittston area 45-yard line. Bulldogs moving from our left to our right here in the second quarter. Sheptock in motion right to left. A fake to him. Lawbaugh will keep it. Quarterback keeper. And he's buried as he gets to about the 43-yard line. Brennan Higgins coming up to make the stop for Pittston area.
Flung that quarterback down. They haven't run Lawbaugh that much by design in this game. That's only his second run. He'll get 2 yards on it. But thrown down rather unceremoniously as Higgins, one of the better defenders on this team, comes up hard from his safety position and brings him down.
Second down call coming. Berwick at the Pittston area 42-yard line. Keegan Wilk wide to the left side. Sheptock wide right, comes in motion left. Lawbaugh takes the step to Wilk, and Wilk weaving his way downfield, breaks the tackle, still on his feet, trying to get outside, does so. 35, gets a great block at the 25, the 20, the 15, the 10, the 5, and he goes in for the touchdown. Aiden Mason had a terrific block, leading the way for Keegan Wilk.
Yeah, you have good eyes, Jimmy. Ball's thrown, pitch pass, right at the line of scrimmage to the left sideline. El Toro's the first man, makes a miss with the sidestep, goes forward 2 yards, does the same thing again, then he decides he's going to start crossing the field with the cutback action. That's where Aiden Mason got a block on the safety near the far hash, and then the race to the end zone. Keegan Wilk's going to win that.
42 yards on the reception by Keegan Wilk. Now Brendan Hinkle, the sophomore, with the extra point attempt. The kick is up, and the kick is no good. No good. Timeout on the field. 7:33 remaining. First half. Berwick 26. Pittston area nothing. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Choose with confidence. The Medicine Shop.
At the Medicine Shop Pharmacy, located at the corner of 9th and Pine Streets in Berwick, caring goes beyond the prescriptions. Discover the one-on-one customer service and dedication that makes caring part of the culture at the Medicine Shop in Berwick. Stock up on everything you need to keep you and your family healthy all year long. The Medicine Shop Pharmacy, located on the corner of 9th and Pine Streets in Berwick, where caring goes beyond the prescription.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football.
WHLM Bloomsburg, WBWX Berwick.
HLM.
Number 6, Andrew Krawczyk. And number 4, Brennan Higgins.
Bulldogs remain perfect. Scoring on every possession in this opening half. They now lead Pittston area 26-0. 7:33 still to go before the halftime break. Electrifying play moments ago. Keegan Wilk, 42 yards in the pass reception for the score. Now Krawczyk will field the kick down around the 5-yard line to the 10, to the 15. Krawczyk turns the corner and forced down over the 30-yard line.
Drayton Wilk yet again on the coverage, Jim. Krawczyk was sort of fighting his own kick returner to get the ball. He backed up, caught it high, made a nicer return down that sideline, and we've been able to see out of his mate.
So it's the 33-yard line where the Patriots will put it in play. Trailing Berwick 26-0 as Krawczyk splits wide to the left. Higgins wide to the right. I formation behind the quarterback Mike Nacito. He gives the ball to Dylan Lakachko, looking for room and nothing there. But Bulldogs all over the play.
Yeah, very physical play by Mason Lawbaugh, Jim. He's been fighting a lot of double teams. Everyone knows how tough he is, his reputation from last year as a defensive end. They moved him inside to take on things physically and clog the middle, and he's often being given double teams. That time he fights on through it, catches that runner, and pretty much body slams him to the ground.
2nd and 8, Pittston area from their own 35-yard line. Nacito out of the gun with a protector at either side. Bobbles the snap, then picks it up, throws, and it's batted down incomplete. Mason Lawball all over him. He bobbled the snap and threw it quickly. Bulldogs able to back the ball down, bring up a 3rd down and 8 for Pittston area.
Better than suffering the sack or losing the ball on the fumble. Got it and quickly threw to the area he expected a receiver to be, but the passing lane taken away. Might have been Sully Sullivan in there, Jim. Slabinski getting the hands up and batting it away, playing the other tackle opposite of Mason Lawball.
Here's a 3rd down and 8. Slot to the left, I formation. Nacito under center. Back to throw. Barely got the pass away. Incomplete. Boy, Ryan Lawball coming in a hurry all over Nacito.
Lawball's all over the place in this drive. Mason Lawball making big plays against the run, pressuring the passer, and now it's Ryan Lawball who doubles as the quarterback, coming from his outside backer position on the left, coming hard to where the quarterback has no opportunity to get the ball away.
Andrew Kravchik will do the punting for the Patriots. He's standing back at the 16-yard line. Blake Bauer and Tegan Wilk back for the Bulldogs. Snap, kick is away. Line drive kick to the far side of the field, and Bauer will let it go out of bounds at around the 29-yard line. So that's where Berwick will put it in play with 6:26 to go in this opening half. And the Bulldogs lead this one by a score of 26-0.
The running game's been going. We mentioned Aiden Mason already has his 100-yard game. Everybody else is running for a nice average in the game. Ryan Lawball's 4 of 4 passing, including a 42-yard touchdown pass, which was really behind his own line. But Tegan Wilk with the run after the catch turns it there. And a 36-yard touchdown pass on a bomb with a scramble to Dallas Schechterly. The other 2 catches by Sean Sheptock behind the line of scrimmage.
Now as the Bulldogs come out to the line of scrimmage, the 30, Tegan Wilk lines up deep in the backfield. In fact, they're in the pistol with Wilk behind the quarterback Ryan Lawball in a slot to the right side. Now he comes under center. It's an I formation. The pitch right side. And Wilk lowers the shoulder, gets over the 35 to about the 36-yard line. So we're seeing a lot of looks from Berwick in game number 2 of the season.
By design, they want to make sure they're not forgetting about Tegan Wilk. He is a special athlete with special abilities. He needs to get a certain quota of touches in every game. We haven't seen the look where he's a tailback. Aiden Mason was sort of fullback in front of him. Mason wanted to lead him in a sweep. Tegan Wilk bursted inside, so I can get 6 yards there.
2nd down and 4. Bulldogs at their 36. Under 6 minutes to go in this opening half. Berwick leading 26-0. Slot to the left side. Mason playing fullback. Aiden Mason gets the call off the left side. Picks up a couple near the 38-yard line. 3rd down coming up.
Yeah, different looks. Tegan Wilk's going to get a lot of attention when you can see him there deep in that I formation. So slide it to Aiden Mason with power. Pittston kind of stuffed it up, but until they get done fighting, he gets 3 yards out of it.
3rd and 2. Berwick from their 39-yard line. Slot to the left side. I formation. Aiden Mason, the fullback, quarterback keeper. Ryan Lawball has the 1st down. Straight ahead football over the 40 out to the 42-yard line.
He has Noah Craig as his right guard. He might have whispered something to him. The sense was, hey, we have this. I can see it. It's a short 2 yards that he needed. He knows that Noah Craig at 257 pounds is a veteran. He's going to lead the charge as the other guys kind of come in from the sides and wedge block that.
Berwick 1st and 10 at their 42. Sean Sheptock wide to the left side. I formation. Ryan Lawball, the quarterback, under center. Now they send Wilk, the tailback, in motion to the left, and rolling that way is Ryan Lawbaugh. Lawbaugh will keep it himself, and he spins over the 45 to the 46-yard line.
Designated roll to the left, and I was watching the blocking, and I liked the way that Aaron Cashman, who had no one coming his way at left guard, peeled back and looked to the backside, picked up a blitzing defensive end. That gave room for the quarterback to be able to take it further to the left and eventually turn it upfield. Nice 4-yard gain for Ryan Lawbaugh, who now has 13 yards rushing on his 4 carries.
2nd down and 6 for the Bulldogs. Slot to the right side. Sheptock wide, and Antonio Barada in the slot. I formation. Mason is the fullback. Tegan Wilk, the tailback. He gets the call, still on his feet, has the first down over midfield to the Pittston area 46-yard line, 8 yards on the carry.
People think of Tegan Wilk as a speedster and as the guy who's going to zig and zag and put on the moves. But he's physically put together. He's strapped. And when he knows the situation, he's running inside between the tackles. He's just going to get very physical with you. And that was the type of run we saw there.
1st and 10, Berwick at the Pittston area 46-yard line. Bulldogs have scored on every one of their first half possessions. Slot to the left. I formation. Lawbaugh under center. Gives off the left side, and the gain to about the 44-yard line. A couple on the play.
Blake Maurer resting Tegan Wilk now as he takes over at the tailback. Will take those 2 yards. I like what I see out of quarterback Ryan Lawbaugh, Jim. He's sort of the leader on the field. He knows everyone has to get to their position. Sometimes it takes the wide receivers a little longer to get there from the huddle. He waits for them.
Timeout, Berwick, 2:52 to go in the half. Bulldogs lead 26-0. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Yannick Real Estate is your full-service real estate agency. Buying, selling, residential, commercial, multifamily, land, and rental management. Call Yannick Real Estate. Owner Mike Yannick, a veteran himself, served his country and has been serving this area for decades. Mike and his staff will guide you through the real estate process. Veterans, be sure to check the VA loan options. Yannick Real Estate, your full-service real estate agency. 1232 West Front Street in Berwick. Call 759-3300.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football.
WHLM Bloomsburg, WBWX Berwick.
HLM.
A first half dominated by the Bulldogs of Berwick. Here at Charlie Trippi Stadium in Yatesville, they lead Pittston area 26-0. 2:51 to go in the half. Berwick with 2 timeouts remaining. They have scored on every possession in this opening half. What a contrast to week 1.
They have their assignments down at the line of scrimmage. Their timing is very good on the plays. They're playing with a confidence.
Lawbaugh out of the gun, has the snap. Fires, has Tegan Wilk in the flat, turns the corner at the 35, the 30, and dances out of bounds near the 25-yard line.
Close to 20 yards added up, Jim. Little swing pass to Tegan Wilk. Only about 3 yards past the line of scrimmage. 2 men coming from inside and outside seem to have him penned in. Little head fake left, breaks it right, and uses the speed to get wide of them.
20 yards on the completion to Tegan Wilk. 1st and 10, Berwick at the Pittston 24-yard line. 2:42 to go in the half. Lawbaugh has the shotgun snap. Fires to the far side over the head of the intended receiver, Blake Maurer, at the 20-yard line.
First incomplete of the game for Ryan Lawbaugh. Blake Maurer not quite as tall as some of the other receivers. Doing a swing pass on the left side. He's in the flat about 4 or 5 yards, but it sails over his head.
Stay with us at halftime. Raven Klein will bring you updated on all the high school football scores from this, the start of the second weekend of the 2019 season. Here it's 26-0 Berwick, 2:37 to go in the half. Bulldogs 2nd and 10 at the Pittston area 24-yard line. Ryan Lawbaugh out of the gun. Fakes handoff, keeps the football, running him off the left side, inside the 15, inside the 10, breaks the tackle and goes in for the touchdown. 24 yards for Ryan Lawbaugh.
34 on the game and that touchdown to his resume. Looked more like the physical outside linebacker on that play than as a genteel quarterback. position that normally doesn't get into the ramming type of action. But he fakes one way, takes the ball the other off the left side, up inside his tackle, collides with the safety at 10, collides with the other safety at about 14, wins both collisions and takes it in for the score.
Brendan Hinkle will attempt the extra point. Good snap, good hold, kick is up, and the kick is good. Timeout on the field. 2:30 remaining in the opening half. Berwick 33, Pittston area nothing. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Northeast Pennsylvania, it's your home. And no matter what stage of life you find yourself in, what you rely on most is security. When that house becomes a home, the moment you get that new car, when your dreams become a reality, it's times like this when you have to look to the experts for advice and financial peace of mind. They're there with innovative products and services to help you with your financial future every step of the way. Together, they will help dreams and goals become reality. They are more than a bank. They're your neighbor. They are First Keystone Community Bank. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football.
HLM Bloomsburg, WBWX Berwick.
HLM.
What a first half for Berwick. 5 possessions, 5 touchdowns. They lead Pittston area 33-0. Still 2:30 remaining in the half as Eric Montez set to kick off. His kick high and deep to the far side. Pizzano will let it roll over his head and into the end zone for the touchback.
His kicking's rather amazing, Jim. We don't see it in high school. I've mentioned most of them to the 10, if not the 5. This one hits around the 2 and bounces in rather easily. So Eric Montez, besides being a monster from his defensive end position, power fullback blocker, is showing he has the foot on the deep kicks to give his team great field position to start offensively.
And in the season, no idea really how.
Yes, they have, Jim. Outside of the opening fumble on that kick, a flawless ball.
Slot to the left side. Aceto has the shotgun snap, gives the ball off to Lukachko coming from the right side. He gets just a couple to the 22-yard line.
Eric Montez, I'm sorry, Jim, coming. He actually started upfield to play a contain, and you can see him wanting to contain this quarterback who's been rolling out. He saw the handoff. He saw the quarterback was going to bend it in the C-gap. He comes back and makes that tackle for a very short running gain. A defensive win. Great play by Montez.
2nd down and 8. Nacito back to throw. Fires incomplete. Intended for Pizzano. Flag down on the play. Mason Lawbaugh did a good job of rushing the quarterback. Didn't see anything there.
Yeah, but I think they're going to call a roughing the passer against Mason Lawbaugh. I don't think it was warranted, Jim. He's just so quick. He's getting in there. He has the man wrapped up while he's throwing it and brings him down. Brought him down kind of in slow motion. He had him low. He's not seeing the passing hand. I would not have thrown that flag. I'd have called it a great defensive play. When scouts look at film, that's what they're going to see, not the flag.
15 yards on the penalty, 1st and 10. Pittston area at their 37-yard line. 1:48 to go in the half. Patriots with their full allotment of timeouts remaining. 5 wide receivers. Lukachko comes in motion from a wide position, and he runs into Eric Montez at the 35-yard line, loss of 2.
They were playing a game with the defensive tackles and defensive ends. The tackles were looping wide. The defensive ends were crashing in. And Eric Montez on a play where it looks like, hey, there's a seam develop in there. All of a sudden, no, there's no seam. There's no gain.
Yeah, they give him the forward motion to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. 2nd down and 10 for the Patriots at their 37. A protector to either side of Nacito takes the shotgun snap, and he's back to throw, and he dishes it out to Lukachko, and he's brought down in the open field. Antonio Barada with a terrific play. We've seen what Lukachko can do in the open field, and that time it was basically one-on-one, and Barada brings him down at the 36-yard line. They'll lose a yard on the play. as a timeout is called. 56 seconds to go in the half. 33-0 Berwick. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
When you need the services of a professional law firm, you need the law offices of Lutz & Petty at 916 West Front Street in Berwick. Lutz & Petty is your hometown choice for elder law and asset protection, criminal law, estate planning, real estate, and personal injury. The full-service legal team of Lutz & Petty takes this opportunity to wish the Berwick Bulldogs a successful and injury-free season. Call them at 570-218-4888. The law offices of Lutz & Petty, protecting you. Go Dogs!
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football.
WHLM Bloomsburg, WBWX Berwick.
HLM.
Following the Berwick timeout, Pittston area 3rd and 11 at their own 36-yard line. Bulldogs have one timeout remaining. Nacito out of the gun, has the snap. Back to throw, has time, and looking long to Krafchick, incomplete. Boy, terrific coverage downfield. Both Tegan Wilkes and Sean Sheptog. Stops the clock with 50 seconds to go in the half, and punt situation for the Patriots.
And punting always is a challenge against Berwick. You have the dangerous return men who can take it all the way. I think Andrew Krafchick kind of froze and thinking of punting it away or thinking, can I run with this, rather than punt to them much earlier in the game. This time he's going to have to punt it away, and Berwick will have the opportunity for the return.
Blake Bauer, Tegan Wilk deep. Krafchick standing back at his 22-yard line. Long count. Good snap. Kick is away. End over end. Tegan Wilkes settles in at the 28-yard line to the 35 and knocked out at the 38-yard line.
David Boehm able to take that away. He looked like a wildcat there with that ball, tiptoeing left in slow motion, waiting to see if a seam's going to develop, then he could accelerate through. But he was never able to get to a wall and make anything happen.
So Berwick with one timeout remaining, with the football at their own 37-yard line, 40 seconds to go in the half.
We haven't seen them throw downfield that much. We haven't seen the pass protection. Most of the passes have been quick release. Ryan Lawbaugh is 5 of 6 passing.
Slot to the right side. Wide receiver left. Lawbaugh awaiting the shotgun snap. Has it. Back to throw, fires on the middle, behind the intended receiver, Tegan Wilk. Went off his hands at midfield. Stops the clock with 36 seconds to go in the half.
Running a wide out, wider than Tegan Wilk, straight down the sideline, trying to create a seam closer to the hash mark for Tegan Wilk, but off target.
Second down and 10. Again, Bauer in a slot right. Sheptog outside of him. Lawbaugh has the snap. He's looking the other way, and he has a man. A completion to the 45, and on his feet to midfield is Tegan Wilk, and finally dragged down there. So they'll pick up the first down on a 13-yard completion. 26 seconds to go in the half as they rush to the line of scrimmage.
Berwick in hurry-up mode.
Clock has not started yet. Now it does. Lawbaugh will spike it. Stopping the clock with 22 seconds to go. It'll be 2nd and 10, Berwick, from midfield.
Yeah, hard to get 3 plays off in 22 seconds. You're certainly not going to get 4 off, so you may as well spike it rather than use your timeout in that situation. Give you time to think, make deliberate plays. If it's caught in bounds, probably going to have to use that timeout. They might try to work the sidelines, try to work deep. See what the play call happens to be.
Slot to the left, slot to the right. Aiden Mason to the right of Ryan Lawbaugh, who waits the shotgun snap, and he has it. Pump fake, looking long to Sean Sheptog, who makes the catch and is forced out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. A terrific throw and catch. And Berwick in business, still 15 seconds remaining in the half.
I mentioned they're not shading safeties towards Sean Sheptog, and they need to. He's so tall and so fast. He ran it out and up. Ryan Lawbaugh gave a nice pump fake, and at that point, he's sped by the corner. safety was trying to get over and at least stop the touchdown.
First and goal from the 9-yard line. Aiden Mason to the left of Ryan Laubaugh. Laubaugh.
There's confusion there, Jim. I think he might have audibled.
Maurer goes to the left, rolling that way as Ryan Laubaugh throws across his body into the end zone, and it's intercepted. Intercepted. The return down the far sideline, out to the 13-yard line as Dylan Lakachko intercepts the pass. Second turnover for Berwick in the half, and the first time they do not score on a possession.
Berwick didn't want to have to use their last time out, but you can see Noah Craig is like, hey, what's going on? I don't know the play. What are we doing? They ended up rolling out, and they had time to be able to escape any pressure and try to find a receiver. I think Ryan Laubaugh as well, a little bit panicky with his whole team not on the same page, threw an unwise ball where Lakachko happened to be in front of his receiver.
So the Patriots put it down at their 17-yard line. And taking a knee is quarterback Mike Nacito, and that will be it. The end of the first half of play with the score, Berwick 33, Pittston area nothing. You're listening to Berwick Football and Sports Radio HLM.
Are you looking to meet an elder care need? Do you or a loved one need assistance with any of the instrumental or basic activities of daily living? Brookdale Senior Living has a solution. Brookdale Bloomsburg, located at 420 Schaefer Road, is a premium personal care home offering a family atmosphere along with round-the-clock nursing care. Call 570-387-6868 to learn more. Better yet, we invite you to drop in and meet the Brookdale family and learn how we can offer an optimum aging experience for you or a loved one.
Summer is winding down, but Alexander Family Buick GMC in Bloomsburg has no intentions of slowing down. Right now, get 22% off MSRP on select GMC Sierras in stock. Get 20% off on select Buicks and 0% APR on select Buicks and GMCs. And of course, get the Blaze Alexander lowest price guaranteed. Check us out at AlexanderFamilyBuickGMC.com or stop and shop in Bloomsburg. Alexander Family Buick GMC. We're taking the deals the other guys won't.
S.J. Kowalski Heating and Air Conditioning sells comfort. Since 1972, S.J. Kowalski understands the importance of doing business locally. They service what they sell and take pride in customer satisfaction. S.J. Kowalski is a trained comfort specialist, a Lennox dealer, and they are Northeastern Pennsylvania's premier dealer of Mitsubishi ductless mini-split systems. S.J. Kowalski also sells and installs energy-efficient Rinnai water heaters and geothermal systems. Call 1-888-KOWALSKI and ask about special promotions and zero-interest financing.
Neighbor Fence Company has fencing for where you want it, serving Columbia, Montour, and Luzerne counties. Neighbor Fence provides top-quality residential and commercial fencing, vinyl, chain link, wood, aluminum, and ornamental fencing, plus vinyl railing and specialty products. Neighbor Fence Company, 1140 State Route 239 in Wapwallopen. Call 570-752-4423 or visit them online at neighborfencecompany.com. Neighbor Fence Company is a proud sponsor of local youth athletic teams.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football.
WHLM Bloomsburg, WBWX Berwick.
HLM.
Jim Doyle and Andy Lickney from Charlie Trippi Stadium in Yatesville. We're at halftime with Berwick dominating Pittston area to the tune of 33-0. Game didn't start well for Berwick. They fumbled the opening kickoff, recovered by Pittston area at the Berwick 20. But the Bulldog defense was up to the task. Patriots in 3 downs gained only 3 yards, and their 34-yard field goal attempt was no good. Berwick went to work on their first possession. A 10-play, 80-yard scoring drive, capped on a 5-yard touchdown run by Blake Bauer. Longest play along the way, a 37-yard run by Aiden Mason. The extra point attempt was no good, but Berwick had a 6-0 lead with 6:47 to go in the opening quarter. Then on Pittston area's next possession, forced a punt, and Andrew Kravchuk got the snap and appeared to have time to get it away, but he ran a bit with the football and then was buried. Berwick took over at the 36-yard line of the Patriots, and on the first play, Ryan Laubaugh lobbed a pass downfield for Dallas Schechterly, who was covered but still came up the football and got the touchdown. This time Brendan Hinkle was good with the extra point. 13-0 Berwick after one quarter play. Early in the second quarter, Aiden Mason with a 3-yard touchdown run, capping a 4-play, 57-yard drive. Longest play on the drive, a 37-yard run by Mason, his second of the opening half. Brendan Hinkle with the extra point, 20-0 was the Berwick lead. Pittston area took over at their own 28-yard line, drove to the 19-yard line of Berwick, had something going, their best drive of that opening half. But then Mike Nacito on a roll right saw his pass intercepted by Preston Robbins. Berwick took over the football and eventually ended up with a 42-yard touchdown pass. Ryan Lawbaugh to Tegan Wilk. The kick failed for the extra point, but Berwick led 26-0. They added to that lead with 2:30 to go in the half, as Ryan Lawbaugh, 24 yards on the carry from his quarterback position, capping a 9-play, 70-yard drive. Also on that drive, Ryan Lawbaugh had a 20-yard pass completion to Tegan Wilk. Brendan Hinkle with the extra point, 33-0 Berwick, 2:30 to go in the half. Bulldogs got it one last time with under a minute to go in the half and nearly scored again. A beautiful 41-yard pass from Ryan Lawbaugh to Sean Sheptock, gave them a first to goal at the 9-yard line. But from the 9, Lawbaugh on a roll left, threw it in the end zone. The pass was picked off by Dylan Lakachko. Pittston area then took a knee, and the half comes to an end. The score, Berwick 33, Pittston area nothing. We'll take a look at stats from Andy Lickney. Later we'll hear the scores of other games from Raven Klein. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Where do you go when your vehicle needs service? Who do you trust when it comes to keeping your vehicle performing at its best? Ken Pollock Ford, your neighborhood service center. Stop in, relax, catch up with old friends, and get the works for $29.95. Our certified techs will change your oil, rotate your tires, perform a vehicle checkup, and top up your fluids. That's everyday low pricing. Don't worry about the emblem on the hood. The works is valid on any make and any model. That's service at Ken Pollock Ford. Schedule online at kenpollockford.com or stop in and see us. Route 11 Berwick.
How does free and easy checking with no baggage sound? Well, there is a little baggage. The free rolling duffel bag you get when you sign up for free and easy checking with First Columbia Bank. Not only will you get a checking account with no monthly fees and free online and mobile banking, First Columbia will also buy back your unused checks and debit cards from your old bank. Plus, for a limited time, you will receive a free Travelers Club rolling duffel bag when you open a checking account or refer a friend to us. First Columbia Bank, with you every step of the way. Restrictions and data rates may apply.
Berwick Bulldog football.
In HLM Sports tonight, at halftime, Loyalsock leads Danville 14-3. At half, Central Columbia leads Shikellamy 17-3. At half, Mifflinburg leads Bloomsburg 14-13. At half, Columbia Montour Votech leads Bucktail Area 8-0. At half, Jersey Shore leads Selinsgrove 21-0. At half, North Schuylkill leads Shamokin 43-0. In the second, Blue Mountain leads Midwest 14-13. At half, Williamsport leads Altoona 10-0. In the second, Blue Mountain leads Midwest 14-13. In the second, Montoursville leads Hughesville 42-0. In the second, Delaware Valley leads West Scranton 40-0. At half, Wyoming Valley West leads Hazleton Area 14-7. At half, Lehigh leads Schuylkill Haven 15-0. At half, Dallas leads Crestwood 28-0. In the second, Wilkes-Barre Area leads Scranton 14-7. At half, South Williamsport leads Wyalusing Valley 50-0. In the second, Warrior Run leads Milton 30-0. And in the second, Valley View leads Abington Heights 21-7. For HLM Sports, I'm Raven Klein.
Berwick Bulldog football. HLM.
In that opening half, they lead Pittston area by a score of 33-0. Statistics in the half, Andy Lickney.
Statistically overwhelming in favor of Berwick, Jim. They've rolled up 345 yards of offense, and they've only given up 78. In fact, they've given up negative yards in the running game on 12 rushes. Pittston area has been able to muster 15 positive yards, but have lost 22 yards for a net of -7. Dylan Lakachko, solid player, but 8 carries, 12 yards, as Berwick is pretty much stifling him. Brownie George has a 3-yard run. The rest are all in the negative. Team took a kneel down right at the end of the half for -1. Michael Nacito only suffered 1 sack. He's been pressured, he's been hit, but only a loss of 10 yards on the 1 official sack. Punter Andrew Kravchuk was also sort of sacked when he was indecisive whether to punt or run. He lost 11 yards. So in the running game, statistically, -7 yards. Nacito's been rolling out a lot to avoid some of the pass rush. He's 7 of 13. So he's over 50%. He has thrown the 1 interception. Preston Robbins looking strong on that. And he's been able to amass 85 passing yards for his team. Andrew Kravchuk has 1 of the catches, a 38-yarder. He was able to get deep. Got a nice step on the cornerback playing him, adjusted very well to the football and made a 38-yard reception. Franny George has tried some screen passes. He caught 2 of them for a total of 13 yards. Dylan Lukochko has caught 2 for a total of 16. And Alex Anastasi, he caught 2 for 18. 85 in the air for Pittston, -7 on the ground. So 78 yards here in the first half. Berwick playing very strong defense. Berwick, on the other hand, just balanced their offense very well. 175 on the ground, 167 in the air, 345 yards here at halftime. Very, very impressive totals. Berwick's 175 rushing is over the 170 they had in the entire game last week. Aiden Mason is running very well. Overcame a fumble on the opening kickoff, but he has over 100 yards here at halftime. Officially 9 for 107. He has a touchdown plunge of 3 yards in there. Looks to be running with confidence, putting his head down when there's not a hole, and driving when there is more than that, using the speed, using the moves, looking very strong. Aiden Mason, 107 yards here at half. Blake Maurer, he's had 3 carries, including a touchdown, net of 2 yards for him. Keegan Wilk, 4 carries for 32 yards, using him coming in motion on jet sweeps. Used him in the I formation for some running plays. 32 yards out of the backfield for Keegan Wilkes. Eric Montez, 1 carry, 6 yards, looked strong on that. And then the quarterback, Ryan Lawbaugh. Ryan Lawbaugh with 5 carries, total of 34 yards, and a beautiful touchdown run. Very physical touchdown run, dropping his head and running through tacklers in order to get to the end zone. 21 rushes in all, 175 yards on the ground. Passing, I have Ryan Lawbaugh, 7 completes in 10 attempts. The 1 interception kind of ending the half, thrown in the end zone as the team seemed confused as to what the play call was going to be. But he's amassed 167 yards in the airways. Keegan Wilk leading the way, 3 catches for 75 yards. 1 thrown at the line of scrimmage or even behind. He takes for a 42-yard touchdown. Had a 20-yard catch and a 13-yard catch as well. Sean Sheptock's looked impressive. 2 short throws where he's been able to run for nice yardage, and then 1 long bomb. Beautiful out and up pattern. Lawbaugh gives the pump fake. He turns it up, loses the corner. Safety has to come over to keep it from being a touchdown, but 41 yards on that. So he actually leads the receivers with 3 catches and 56 yards. No, Keegan Wilkes still leads with 75. Sorry. Dallas Schechterly caught the other from his fullback position going through the line. And then heading on downfield. No one really in his area in the end zone. Ball thrown up high. Not the prettiest of touchdowns, but Schechterly goes up, chests it, and comes down with a 36-yard touchdown reception for a score. In the air, 167. On the ground, 175. Berwick with 345 yards compared to what their defense has given up, just 78. And you can see why we're approaching the mercy rule, Jim.
If Berwick had 345 yards at the end of this game and 33 points on the board, they considered a pretty good offensive performance over last week. They just had so many looks that I liked. The 2 blocking backs. Is Eric Montez lined up? next to Zalutko and following that. And then Tegan Wilk at tailback with Aiden Mason at fullback. That's a dynamic duo as well. And then Ryan Lawbaugh maybe got a little lucky on the touchdown pass to Schechterle. It was in traffic, and Schechterle able to come up with it. But the throw to Sheptock late in the half was as good as it gets.
Beautiful. And with the pump fake to set it up and be able to break the coverage where the cornerback bites on it. You get a guy with the speed and the height of Sean Sheptock going downfield. Well, you just had that sideline. It was a beautiful connection. Play you don't see that smoothly executed in high school. We were able to see here.
33-0 at the break. Berwick over Pittston area. We'll be back with the second half kickoff. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
At Traditional Home Healthcare, their beliefs make all the difference. You have the right to choose the highest level of healthcare in your own home, from pediatrics to seniors, as well as non-skilled home care services like meal prep, housekeeping, and companionship. They'll work with you every step of the way to create a care plan for your loved one, because Traditional is more than a home healthcare agency. They're your extended family when family can't be there. Visit TraditionalHomeHealthcare.com today.
Riverview Block of Berwick, with over 75 years of service, can handle all your block and concrete needs. They carry all sizes of concrete block, including decorative E.P. Henry landscaping block. Their concrete is PennDOT approved and delivered with front discharge trucks. Riverview Block also carries masonry supplies, tools, cement, sand, and stone. For prompt delivery, call Riverview Block, 570-752-7191. Riverview Block is proud to support the Berwick Bulldogs.
How do you save money when you shop for groceries? If you haven't checked out Surplus Outlet, you're missing out on savings that could go right into your pocket. Hello, this is Justin Michaels, and at Surplus Outlet, we take saving you money very seriously. At Surplus Outlet, you'll find groceries and much more at below wholesale prices. We work hard to buy right and pass those savings directly on to you. At Surplus Outlet, we stock all the items that you would expect at a grocery store, but each week we get new arrivals, and the savings can be tremendous. So you'll want to stop in often.
Surplus Outlet, with locations on Route 11 Northumberland, Route 11 Berwick, and Route 15 Montgomery.
Somebody needs you. Make a difference in someone's life. Caregivers America is presently hiring direct care workers for their Berwick office location. Caregivers America offers next day pay, direct deposit, paid time off, and paid training. Create your own schedule. Clients close to home. Go to caregiversamerica.com or call the Berwick office, 570-759-7757. Caregivers America.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football.
WHLM Bloomsburg, WBWX Berwick.
HLM.
Just a couple minutes away from the kickoff to start the second half here at Charlie Trippi Stadium. Berwick dominated Pittston area by a score of 33-0. They've really dominated this series against the Patriots. 37th meeting tonight. Berwick leads at 34-2. Bulldogs have won 13 straight in the series, including twice last season. They won the regular season matchup, and then they won in the District 2 Quad A quarterfinals. The last Pittston area win came back in 2006. That was a wild one at Crispin Field. 35-34 in 3 overtimes. But as I mentioned earlier before the game, that Pittston, in those 2 losses to Berwick last year, not able to run the football. 48 yards rushing in one game, just 7 the next, and minus yards rushing, as you just heard from Andy with his stats in the first half of this one. And I'll be shocked if the final team stats in the Wyoming Valley Conference don't show Berwick number 1 against the rush. They are just so good.
They really are, Jim. And look at their people defensively. Eric Montez was a stud last year. He looks even better this year. Mason Lawbaugh in the middle. How about Cisco and Sullivan Slavinsky, who played offensively, coming over to the defense? Say, hey, go one way here. We want it to be strong. Zalutko's a killer at linebacker. Schechterle is a captain with experience. Lawbaugh and Cleaver. Cleaver, I wouldn't trade for anyone in the world. Put Tegan Wilk back there. Sean Sheptock is a great cover corner. We're seeing the return of Preston Robbins. They have great depth. It's just a killer defense.
Pittston area will get the football to start the second half. They'll be moving from our right to our left. As Eric Montez has done a good job kicking off in this game.
Yes.
Will kick it off to start this second half. Berwick 33. Pittston area nothing.
From the left hash, he's been hitting the 5.
His kick is high and deep. Krafchick down around the 7 to the 10. Looking for some room to the 20, and he'll be knocked back inside the 20-yard line. Great kick coverage by the Bulldogs.
Yes, it was, Jim. They just gave him nowhere to run. Peyton Williams, eventually the man wrapping up with 2 others joining him. But they kept their lanes, would not allow anything open, and he had nowhere to go.
20-yard line is the line of scrimmage for the Patriots. First possession of the second half for them. They put 30 points on the board last week, but none on the board through this first half. Krafchick, wide right. Sheptock on him. Higgins in motion to the right. Rolling left, though, as the quarterback fires across his body near a first down as Frandy George out the 30-yard line. That is a tough throw by Nacito.
Yeah.
He's rolling left and throws it hard, kind of sidearm to Frandy George for the first down at the 30.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd design a play that way. Rolling hard left, slinging against the body and against the grain. But he got the passing lane, and that play is a success, and they do move the chains, Jim.
Patriots first and 10 at their own 30-yard line. Wide receiver to either side. I formation. The call goes to the fullback, George, and he will struggle to get to the line of scrimmage.
Mike Silico trying to rip the ball out. Sean Sheptock coming up, working the ball while the linemen have him held up. Just tough going. No gain there as Berwick stifles the run and others try to force the turnover.
And it is second down and 10 for the Patriots at their own 30-yard line. Andrew Krafchick wide left. Brennan Higgins wide to the right. Protector to either side of Nacito, who gets the shotgun snap. Pump fake, fires on the middle. Krafchick has it near the 40-yard line. They try to bring him down, and he gets the first down with second effort out to the 43-yard line.
Nice play. Boy, they at the needle, Jim. Krafchick's running at about 8 yards and then crossing toward the middle. A little bit of a slant action. Sean Sheptock's running with him. He's going to be behind him in that coverage. They thread it right in there and then some physical hits. But he holds on and makes the play.
12 yards on the reception by Andrew Krafchick. First and 10, Pittston area. At their own 42-yard line. Krafchick now wide to the right.
Some precision passing, but dangerous.
Higgins in motion to the right. I formation behind Nacito. Rolls right, looking to set something up. Nothing there. He's in pursuit of Slabinski, and he throws it, and I do not see any receiver there, and here comes the flag.
Yeah, Ryan Laubach eventually did trip him up, and it was going to be a sack for a big loss of about 16. Now, how is this marked off? We'll see with the grounding. I think they should lose as much as the sack would have been. You'll certainly lose the down as well. Is it 5 yards from the point of where the tackle would have been?
Something didn't look right about that play.
No.
It was rolling left, and there was no one. And, I mean, no receivers out there. So, yes, he was called for grounding, but he didn't have much choice as Slabinski had him in the grasp. The total play will be a loss of 20 and a loss of down. So it will be a second down and 30. Pittston area back at their 22-yard line. I formation behind the quarterback, Nacito. And Berwick will be called for the offside.
Yeah, Nacito barked the signals for the first time and drew the law. I might have saved that until the next series of downs. They have so much yardage to make up that the 5 yards that they do make up is certainly nice. It's a little helpful, but might have been better when they had a first and 10 and were a little more realistic of converting.
27-yard line is the line of scrimmage. Krafchick wide left. Higgins wide right. Protector to either side of senior quarterback Mike Nacito, and now a flag down.
Linesman sees somebody in the neutral zone.
It's Berwick.
5 more against Berwick. Well, maybe you take 5 and 5. Little chunks.
2nd and 20 now for the Patriots at their 32. Nacito has the shotgun snap, back to throw, looking long down the far side to Higgins, who makes the grab. And a first down near the Berwick 31-yard line. A beautiful throw and catch. Mike Nacito to Brennan Higgins.
It really was pretty. Preston Robbins has the coverage, and he was pretty well. But he got the steps. They threw it over him. He made the catch on the sideline. Robbins does tackle him to save the potential for the touchdown. And a beautiful hookup as we're seeing a little passing clinic being put on by Mike Nacito.
37 yards on that reception. 1st and 10, Patriots at the Bulldog 31-yard line. Nacito back to throw. Looking downfield, a craft check. Overthrows. The ball's picked off by Sheptock, who's forced out of bounds around the 15-yard line. Ball overthrown by Nacito. Sean Sheptock has the interception, his second of this young season. And Berwick takes over the football with 9:54 to go in the third. The Bulldogs leading 33-0.
Berwick's 3 deep was just dropping back into zone, floating there, watching the quarterback. With pressure, Nacito decides to sling it. He had been fortunate within this series. Decided to, go with the gamble. Flings to a tall receiver, but it sails over his head. And Sean Sheptock drifting in the area, in the zone with eyes on it, able to pick it up.
So Berwick's first possession of this second half will start at their own 14-yard line after the Sheptock interception. Sean stays in the lineup. He is wide to the left. Keegan Wilk in a slot to that side. And Antonio Barada is the wide receiver to the right. Ryan Laubaugh awaiting the shotgun snap.
Cleaver quarterbacking.
Yep, Blaine Cleaver is the quarterback. He fakes handoff and he keeps the football in his running room outside the 25, the 30, the 35, and forced out of bounds across the way. Blaine Cleaver comes into quarterback to start this third quarter and starts with a big game.
Yeah, he's tall. He's a physical presence. We know it from his ability to play defense. Took that shotgun snap almost like a wildcat type of runner. Took it off the left side, found the lane, and extended it for a nice gain.
28 yards on the carry by Blaine Cleaver. 1st and 10, Berwick at their 42-yard line.
Laubaugh now.
Slot to the right side. Laubaugh hands it off. Dade Mason over midfield, down the sideline, 40, and down all the way to the 30-yard line. Aiden Mason with the big run. So Berwick's offense, which was terrific in that opening half, picks up where they left off. Have a 28-yard run by Blaine Cleaver from the quarterback position, and now a 28-yard run by Aiden Mason.
Give Mason 135 on the game. Showed great balance in there, Jim. He committed through the C gap, ran. He was going to be tripped up in the secondary, but regained his balance and almost able to take it all the way.
From the Pittston area 30. Laubaugh keeps the football and gets up the middle to the 25-yard line. He put the ball in the belly of Aiden Mason and pulled it away. Got a good first down gain for the Bulldogs.
Yes, he did. Nice 4 or 6 yards. They'll be about 4 yards short. That zone read play where you run that running back, you put it in his belly, he's going sideways. You're reading the defense, whether to give it to him if the defense is staying put, or pull it out and take it up the middle yourself. That's what Ryan Laubaugh did, and a great first down play.
Blaine Cleaver back in at the quarterback controls, awaiting the shotgun snap. Has it. He's going to throw his first pass, and he has Barada. Antonio ridden out of bounds, not before he gets the first down inside the 20-yard line.
Nice strong arm. Barada way at the sideline, just running the the defender off, stopping, hooking up, making the catch. They'll move the chains.
7 yards on that reception. Berwick moving off the second half kickoff, trying to put this game into a mercy rule mode. They lead 33-0, 8:17 remaining in the third. Slot to the left. Cleaver out of the gun. Aiden Mason to his left. Cleaver has the snap. Looking to throw, nothing there. Still looking. Fires downfield. Has a man for a touchdown. Blaine Cleaver on target for the score.
Dallas Schefterly with his second touchdown reception of the game, Jim. They had 3 wide receivers, 2 left and 1 right. They ran people off. Schefterly hiding as sort of a tight end, delays. Ends up in the end zone near the right hash. Quarterback is sort of looking left, doesn't like the coverage there. Takes a few steps to the right. Spots Schefterly, drills it in, and Schefterly with his second touchdown reception of the game.
Brendan Hinkle will attempt the extra point out of the hold of Tegan Wilk. Jake Lanning does the snapping, and it can't be held by Tegan Wilk, but he's going to roll right, and he'll be buried back at the 8-yard line. So the extra point attempt fails. Timeout on the field. 7:57 to go. Berwick 39, Pittston area nothing. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Summer is winding down, but Alexander Family Buick GMC in Bloomsburg has no intentions of slowing down. Right now, get 22% off MSRP on select GMC Sierras in stock. Get 20% off on select Buicks and 0% APR on select Buicks and GMCs. And of course, get the Blaze Alexander lowest price guaranteed. Check us out at AlexanderFamilyBuickGMC.com or stop and shop in Bloomsburg. Alexander Family Buick GMC. We're taking the deals the other guys won't.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football.
WHLM Bloomsburg, WBWX Berwick.
HLM.
First possession of the second half results in a 5-play, 86-yard drive. Capped on an 18-yard touchdown pass, Blaine Cleaver to Dallas Schefterly. 39-0 Bulldogs. We are in the mercy rule mode with 7:57 to go in the third as Eric Montez gets set to kick off. His kick comes up a big short this time to the near side, and it's muffed by a would-be returner, and the scramble is on at the 27-yard line. Looks like Pittston area was able to get on the football.
Yeah, Brennan Higgins able to wrestle it away. But everything having been going down that left sideline, all of a sudden when this one goes to the right side, there's no one there to get it. Long run for the Pittston receivers to try to get to the ball, and Berwick almost comes up with an onside kick recovery.
And how smooth did Blaine Cleaver look at that?
Just first play, you knock any jitters out that you're there. And then his poise in the pocket to look left, kind of sidestep to the right and find Dallas Schefterly. Just great call.
Pittston area from their 27-yard line. Lakachko tries the right side and got maybe a yard on the play.
They're so physical on the inside. I thought the quarterback still had it, as did some of the defenders. Ryan Lawmon, Eric Montez, ready to give him a pop, and he doesn't have the ball, so they ease up.
Berwick doing some substituting now on the defensive side of the football. Stas Hughes is in there, defensive end. Brian Noors in at the interior of the line. As Pittston area faces a 2nd down and 8 at their own 29-yard line.
Devin Smith at the left corner.
I formation. Aceto play action, rolls right, fires, the ball's tipped and incomplete. Antonio Barada got his hands on the football, forced the incompletion, and making it a 3rd down and 8 for Pittston area. Clock continues to run as we are in the mercy rule.
Yeah, even on the incomplete pass, they'll keep it going. Pittston will be throwing again. We've seen Aceto, complete some tough passes, getting some in, but they're high risk as well, and the last drive ended with the interception.
Gabe DePippa's in that defensive front for Berwick as well. Here's the third down play. Nacito on a roll left, stops, looking long downfield to Kravchik, incomplete. Boy, great coverage by Sean Sheptock. That has been a good individual matchup to watch. Kravchik won it once on a long completion the first half, but Sheptock has more than held his own.
He certainly has, and I think they're not afraid to go one-on-one coverage with anyone in the league with Sean Sheptock. Real nice pressure by number 3, Stas Hughes, as well, getting in and hurrying the quarterback.
Kravchik will be back to do the punting. Blake Bauer and Tegan Wilk awaiting for the Bulldogs. Kravchik standing back at the Pittston area 16-yard line. Gets the kick away. Comes up short. They'll have to let it roll, and it goes out of bounds around the 33-yard line of the Bulldogs. So that's where Berwick takes over. Bulldogs leading 39-0, 5:02 to go in the third quarter. Berwick will play their home opener next Friday night at Crispin Field, taking on the Millionaires of Williamsport. Williamsport won their opening game against Central Mountain. And the last score we had tonight, the Millionaires leading Altoona at the half by a score of 10-0. Here it is 39-0. Bulldogs as they take over at their own 34-yard line. Moving from our left to our right. As it will continue to be Blaine Cleaver at the quarterback controls, with Stas Hughes as the fullback.
Alejandro Lopez at tail.
And Lopez gets the call, tries the left side, gets by one man, another, does some nice maneuvering out near the 40-yard line. Good first down carry for Alejandro Lopez, a 5'8", 186-pound senior.
Had a nice look, dive over to left guard, following the fullback. Got to the line of scrimmage, one quick sidestep, and he was able to stretch that to almost 5 yards, Jim.
Second down and 5, Bulldogs from their 39-yard line. Preston Robbins is a wide receiver to the right. As Cleaver under center. Gives to Lopez again. Lopez has the first down and then some. Strong effort by him out to midfield.
Yeah, nice strong run. Takes a hit about 7 yards into it, spins for another 3, about 10 yards on that. Will move the chains. I also like Cleaver. You mentioned how comfortable he looks, Jim. He's also aware of the game situation. He's watching the 40-second clock. He's not going to call for that snap until there's about under 5 seconds to go.
Wide receiver to either side. Again, the I formation. Hughes is the fullback from midfield. Cleaver gives to Lopez again, and a quick burst brings him into Pittston area territory near the 44-yard line. Franny George on the stop for the Patriots.
Yeah, and if he doesn't make that stop, it might be a foot race to the end zone. Franny George, one of the better defenders on this team. Came in, got low on the man, twisted him at the knees to bring him on down with a good tackle.
Second down and 4 for Berwick at the Pittston area 44-yard line. Play clock down to 5. Cleaver gives to the fullback Hughes straight ahead, and he'll get a yard or two to the 42-yard line. I want to remind you, Andy and I will have more high school football for you tomorrow night. We'll be at Jim Roth Field at Tiger Stadium as Southern Columbia renews their rivalry with Mount Carmel. The Tigers will be trying to improve on that pitiful performance in the opening week.
Wow. Jim, they were at week 16 type of efficiency in that game, and boy, things snowball for Hammond where they don't know what hit them. What a game.
3rd and 1, Berwick from the 41-yard line. Lopez gets the call, hit behind the line, but good second effort, gets him close to the first down.
He has nice vision. You can see there was penetration. Again, a sidestep in the backfield. He's not going to stop with the little bit of contact that's coming at him, and he gets the chains.
1st and 10, Berwick at the Pittston area 40-yard line. 1:45 remaining in this third quarter.
Going to hold him in the huddle. Berwick showing great sportsmanship. We mentioned Blaine Cleaver, when he does get there, is going to wait till that 40-second clock runs down quite a bit.
Wide receiver to either side. Lopez, the tailback, gets the call off the left side. Nice burst by him down to the 36-yard line. 4 yards on the first down carry. Second down coming for the Bulldogs. We're going to go to 2-0 going into their home opener against Williamsport next Friday night. You know, last year when they played Williamsport only had 20-some players in uniform. I thought that program was ready to take a big dip, but looking at the roster, 55 players on it who won their opener and leading Altoona 10-0 at halftime tonight. As from the 36, Cleaver back to throw, slipped as he threw it. It comes up short, incomplete. He lost his footing. That made the ball come up short. Preston Robbins was the intended receiver, but it didn't get anywhere near him. So it'll be a third down. 3rd and 6 for the Bulldogs from the Pittston area 36 as that clock winds down. Perhaps the end of the third quarter coming as Blaine Cleaver looks to the referee. And that will be it. 3 quarters in the books here at Charlie Trippi Stadium. Berwick 39, Pittston area 0. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
If you haven't been to Name Brand Liquidations in the Berwick Plaza Shopping Center, you're missing out on great values. At Name Brand Liquidators, you'll save money from 50 to 90% on everything imaginable, from bathroom vanities to bar stools to carpeting. You name it. Name Brand Liquidations not only sells a huge variety of merchandise, they feature name brands just like their name says, at low prices. When you're in the market for anything, shop at the store that has everything. Name Brand Liquidations. Wishing the Berwick Bulldogs a great season.
Berwick Bulldog football. Berwick Bulldog football. HLM.
Tonight's game dominated by the Bulldogs of Berwick. They lead Pittston area 39-0. And when we start this final period, Berwick moving from our right to our left, facing a 3rd down and 6, and they have it at the Patriots' 36-yard line.
Firing on all cylinders tonight, Jim. There were questions about the running game. Would the offense be good enough? But they tinkered with the assignments. They mastered that. The execution was strong out of the offensive line. A lot of confidence in the unit as they came together and produced the offense the team wants.
Blaine Cleaver out of the shotgun on 3rd down and 6. Has the snap. Fakes handoff. Keeps the football. 1st down and then some to the 20, the 15, the 10, the 5, and Blaine Cleaver on the first play of the 4th quarter goes 36 yards for a Berwick touchdown.
Just so impressive. The zone read, he's going to read Alejandro Lopez, put it in his stomach as he goes parallel the line of scrimmage to the right. He sees the opening when people follow him. He pulls it out and he goes upfield. And he's just a physical specimen. I mean, you're almost afraid to tackle him. I saw him down on the field in pregame, and he's intimidatingly big. He got it, ran well, had good vision. Touchdown.
Brendan Hinkle will attempt the extra point. Snap placement, kick is up, and the kick is good. Time on the field, 11:46 to go. Berwick, 46, Pittston area 0. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Has fencing for where you want it, serving Columbia, Montour, and Luzerne counties. Neighbor Fence provides top-quality residential and commercial fencing, vinyl, chain link, wood, aluminum, and ornamental fencing, plus vinyl railing and specialty products. Neighbor Fence Company, 1140 State Route 239 in Wapwallopen. Call 570-752-4423 or visit them online at neighborfencecompany.com. Neighbor Fence Company is a proud sponsor of local youth athletic teams.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football.
WHLM Bloomsburg, WBWX Berwick.
HLM.
Bulldogs now lead it by a score of 46-0 as Blaine Cleaver playing a lot of quarterback here in the second half and playing it very, very well. Caps a 9-play drive with a 36-yard touchdown run. Brendan Hinkle with the extra point, extending that lead to 46-0. We're just 14 seconds into the final period. As Eric Montez kicks it off. High, short, fielded by Thomas at the 14-yard line to the 20, and gain tackle as he gets over the 30 to about the 33-yard line. So the return by Anthony Thomas, and the Patriots will put the ball in play at their own 31-yard line.
Preston Robbins among the people in on the tackle. It's good to see him back in uniform. Unable to dress because of injury last week. In fact, fighting 2 different injuries. Kind of broke a finger and had to splint it up, and he's probably still suffering from that. But he's looked nice in his action in this game.
And Pittston area will substitute on offense with Berwick holding that big lead early in the fourth. P.J. Pisano, a junior, is the quarterback. He gives to the tailback Hoban. He goes off the left side. And Andrew Blockus now at a linebacker position for Berwick makes the stop as Hoban got the call, gets a yard to the 32-yard line, 2nd down and 9.
Had 3 carries in the Nanaco game, not much yardage there. Looked good going off the left, but Blockus looked even better, shuffling along from linebacker and getting to the hitting position.
2nd and 9. Pisano gives straight ahead. New tailback in there. Gets over the 35, out to the 37-yard line.
Nice hustle by Kyle Smith, the sophomore, to chase that down on the other side of the line of scrimmage.
As John Simons got the call. Simons got to the 36-yard line. 3rd down and 5 now for the Patriots. Simons the call again and will not get the first down or anywhere close as he's brought down about the 37-yard line.
Yeah, Simons confuses us because there's 2 different numbers for him on the roster, and you don't see that 26 in there. Got about a yard. He'll be 4 or 5 yards short of the yard to gain, so Berwick has people back anticipating punt.
Anthony Thomas back to do the punting for Pittston area. Blake Maurer,
Patriots number 2, Anthony Thomas,
deep for the Bulldogs.
Drayton Wilk, the other one, the younger Wilk brother.
And the only 9th grader on this roster. See if he gets an opportunity for a return. Now the kick will go to Blake Maurer, who muffs the ball, picks it up, and is buried at about the 33-yard line. Now Berwick still has the ball, and they're running down the right side. It's Peyton Williams, the 35, the 30, down to the 25-yard line. So the ball was muffed. Pittston area couldn't come up with it. Peyton Williams did, and makes a big return. There is a flag down on the play.
Blake Maurer never caught it cleanly. Was able to pick it up, and when he tried to go forward, 3 Patriots were on top of him. In tackling him, they stripped the ball away again. So I think he recovered from the muff, but the ball stripped. The thing is, none of the 3 tacklers know that the ball is loose. Peyton Williams comes over, picks it up, and heads over toward the Berwick bench on the fly, turns up that sideline, and has a very exciting return on a bit of a confusing play.
Illegal use of hands against Berwick on the return. So the Bulldogs will have it, but they'll have it back at their own 40-yard line with 8:45 to go in the game. And Berwick leading this one by a score of 46-0.
And they've been subbing, but they've been subbing a lot with players that they expect to see a lot of varsity action, or if there's an injury that may have to step in. They may go with even freer substitution at this point with 8:36 to go.
We mentioned the Bulldogs playing their home opener next Friday, taking on Williamsport. For Pittston area, they'll be on the road for the first time at Tunkhannock.
Peyton Williams quarterbacking, Jim.
As we have a whistle and a timeout by Pittston area. 8:19 to go. 46-0 Berwick. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Knockbusters Archery is a Hoyt and elite archery dealer and a full-service archery shop at 1895 West Front Street in Berwick. Knockbusters Archery services all brands of bows and crossbows. Gift certificates are available. Call 570-752-0499 for bow season or anytime you need the very best. Check them out on Facebook. Knockbusters Archery is at 1895 West Front Street in Berwick. 570-752-0499. Go
This
Dogs!
is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog Football.
WHLM Bloomsburg, WBWX Berwick.
HLM.
Back to action. Berwick with the football following the Pittston area timeout. Bulldogs from their own 40-yard line. Third quarterback used by the Bulldogs. Peyton Williams, he gives to Logan Smith. Smith with a good effort. Gets over the 45 up to the 46-yard line. Logan Smith, a sophomore, 5'7", 152-pounder.
Was a real nice run. He'll stretch it for 6. Alex Hoban from the Patriots made the tackle at about 3 yards, but Logan Smith refusing to go down. Tries to break free and eventually tripped up after a 6-yard gain.
Nathan Traw, the left tackle position for the Bulldogs. Gave to Pippa in that interior of the line. It's again the I formation. Logan Smith on the call. Gets very close to the first down yardage near midfield.
Looked like it was going to be stopped at the line of scrimmage, but he pushed the pile forward. His impetus and then the impetus of the line gives him a good 3-yard gain on that rather than being stopped dead.
3rd down and 1 for Berwick at their own 49-yard line.
Taking their time in the huddle. Of course, they'll want to be very deliberate. Often when you have so many subs in, you're prone to penalties.
Brandon Spezzoletti is the wide receiver to left as the fullback gives the call over midfield, picks up the first down. At the 47-yard line, Stas Hughes picks it up for the Bulldogs.
Everything so far since this third unit's come in has been inside of the tackles. Get the chains there. They wanted a short yardage first. He gets them considerably more.
Well, a win is a win, but I'm sure the Berwick players and coaches feel a lot better about this one than they did last Saturday afternoon.
Yeah. There you can see the incremental improvement, that vast improvement.
Call goes to Logan Smith. He fumbles the football, goes straight ahead and gets on it and picks up about 3 on the play. They mark it at the 44, give him 2 yards. 2nd down and 8, Berwick at the Pittston area 44-yard line.
Timing a little bit off on the dive to the right. These guys don't always get to work together as a unit. A simple dive play, timing not quite right, but he has the presence of mind to scoop it off the ground and move it forward.
Hughes, the fullback, ahead of Logan Smith in the eye. Smith again the call, tries the right side and will be brought down right at the line of scrimmage. 3rd down call coming. Again, Williamsport at Crispin Field next Friday night, 7 o'clock kickoff. Home opener for the Bulldogs. First time Carmen DiFrancesco coaches the game.
Yeah.
At Crispin Field, I wonder
if ever.
Probably his first game ever. I mean, obviously it's the first game as a Berwick coach.
Not with Danville, not with Mount Carmel.
Not with Shamokin.
Not with Brennan.
No. Here is the 3rd and 10 call for Berwick. As Peyton Williams keeps the football, faked the pitch, and is brought down for a loss back at the Berwick 47-yard line.
Jimmy Spindler was the man blitzing on in there and getting to him and twisting him. So a nice defensive play by the Patriots will force Berwick to punt. We'll have to check on who is doing the punting. It looks like Sean Sheptock in most of that first unit. You don't have a second team or third team punting unit set up, so these guys will strap it on for the single play.
Well, it's fortunate that Sheptock is a wide receiver and a defensive back. He wouldn't earn his letter punting in this game. This is his first in the 4th quarter. He gets the kick away. Hoban over the shoulder catch at the 15-yard line to the 20 and hit hard and dropped about the 30-yard line. Alex Hoban on the return.
Antonio Barada with a very good hit. I like what I've seen of Alex Hoban from the Patriots. He's come in and played some nice defense in this last series, making his presence known. There he picks up the ball, tries to take it down the sideline, and enjoys a collision with Antonio Barada.
We were talking about Charlie Trippi, for whom this stadium is named. Of course, a great player at Pittston area, then at Georgia, and then at the NFL with the Chicago Cardinals. Great game in the 1947 NFL Championship against the Eagles. On what was a terrible weather day, is back to throw is Pisano, and throws and has a completion out over the 45 to the 47-yard line, is making the grab for Pittston area's Joe Sluzard. Good pass play for the Patriots. Getting back to that 47 title game on what was reported to be a terrible weather day at Comiskey Park in Chicago. In the NFL final, a 44-yard run from scrimmage from Charlie Trippi and a 75-yard punt return touchdown. Two huge plays and a 27-13 win.
My Eagles are still smarting from that.
Pisano rolls right, throws downfield, incomplete. Overthrows the intended receiver. That's David Boehm with 3:40. And the clock running in this mercy rule situation with Berwick leading 46-0. But yeah, when you have a coach by the name of Bear Bryant say that you're the best college football player he ever saw, that is not faint praise. And Charlie Trippi, 97 years old, still kicking in Athens, Georgia. The oldest living first-round draft pick in the NFL. As the call goes to John Simons off the right side, he'll get a yard or two as we go under 3 minutes to go in this one.
I like the way the defense kept coming. Eventually 6, maybe 7 white jerseys from Berwick getting there. The great pursuit drill, and Simons is running hard, just a couple yards, but Berwick really putting the hats on him.
So it will be a 3rd down and 8 for Pittston area from their own 48-yard line. Pisano under center. Fakes to Simon. On a roll left. Fires across his body. Incomplete. Bring up a 4th down play coming. Yeah, maybe the only challenge for Carmen DiFrancesco and his staff after this one is to find some things to criticize. Coaches, no matter what the score, like to say, well, we can get better in this area. Boy, I scratch my head to what that area might be after this one.
I think what you will say, my tact would be, Pittston's not Williamsport, guys. Williamsport's going to come in 2-0. Much, much bigger school. In fact, the biggest you can get. They'll have talent. They're not ever going to be intimidated by Berwick.
4th and 8. Pittston area will go for it. Pisano out of the shotgun. Has the snap. Rolls right. Going to look long downfield. Has a man. Thomas incomplete. Covered very well by Berwick's Shane Levan. Step for step with him, and the Bulldogs will take over the football and a couple of kneel downs away from a convincing win here tonight.
Yeah, with the 3rd unit in, I think you'll probably see them run between the tackles and take the kneel downs. It really doesn't matter that much. If I'm Pittston's coach, I don't care either way. If you ran a trick play, like a hook and lateral or a halfback option pass, I'd care. I think you can let your 3rd teamer still get some genuine action. We'll see how Berwick chooses to play it.
If you're just joining us, Berwick lost a fumble in the opening kickoff, but it's been all Bulldogs from that point on. Logan Wills gets the call, tries the right side, and he is wrapped up by his number 8 counterpart. That's Jimmy Spindler on the tackle for Pittston area with 43 seconds remaining.
Number 8, Jimmy Spindler.
And they'll take their time. They'll be deliberate in the huddle. They'll get one more play off. They have to. 22 seconds on the play clock.
So Berwick has dominated this series. They are about to win their 14th straight in the series against Pittston area. 37th meeting tonight. Only 2 Pittston area wins in the series. Logan Smith the call off the right side. Will pick up about 3 to the 44-yard line on the final play of this game. The final score, Berwick 46, Pittston area nothing. We'll be back with the scoring, stats, and Raymond Klein will bring you updated on the high school football scoreboard on our post-game show. You're listening to Bulldogs Football on Sports Radio HLM.
The Mayo Funeral Homes, located at 110 Chestnut Street in Berwick and 77 Main Street in Chickashinny, are proud sponsors of Berwick Bulldog football. The Mayo Funeral Homes, serving all faiths, makes it easier for those you love with pre-arranged funeral counseling, insurance, and pre-financed funerals. Mayo Funeral Homes also offers expert guidance in both traditional and cremation services. Mayo Funeral Homes, perfection in every detail.
My son was permanently injured in a car wreck. We needed lawyers we could trust. We called Lenahan and Dempsey. The insurance company offered only $10,000. Lenahan and Dempsey got my son the multi-million-dollar settlement needed to protect his future. Lenahan and Dempsey is the only law firm we would ever call.
After a serious personal injury, protect your family. Call Lenahan and Dempsey, the serious personal injury law firm.
Call 1-888-LENAHAN. At Traditional Home Healthcare, their beliefs make all the difference. You have the right to choose the highest level of healthcare in your own home, from pediatrics to seniors, as well as non-skilled home care services like meal prep, housekeeping, and companionship. They'll work with you every step of the way to create a care plan for your loved one, because Traditional is more than a home health care agency. They're your extended family when family can't be there. Visit traditionalhomehealthcare.com today.
Riverview Block of Berwick, with over 75 years of service, can handle all your block and concrete needs. They carry all sizes of concrete block, including decorative EP Henry landscaping block. Their concrete is PennDOT approved and delivered with front discharge trucks. Riverview Block also carries masonry supplies, tools, cement, sand, and stone. For prompt delivery, call Riverview Block, 570-752-7191. Riverview Block is proud to support the Berwick Bulldogs.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football.
WHLM Bloomsburg, WBWX Berwick.
HLM.
Complete domination by the Bulldogs tonight as they win over Pittston area by a score of 46-0. Berwick lost a fumble in the opening kickoff of this game, but Pittston area, taking over the Berwick 20, was only able to gain 3 yards on 3 plays. Their 34-yard field goal to take the lead was no good. And Berwick completely dominated from that point on as they scored on their first 5 possessions of the opening half. First possession, 10 plays, 80 yards. Blake Maurer in from 5 yards out. Biggest play, a 37-yard run by Aiden Mason. Kick for the extra point failed, but Berwick had a 6-0 lead. 6:47 to go in the first. Pittston area's next possession from punt formation. Andrew Kravchuk decided to run, was brought down. Berwick took over at the 36-yard line. Ryan Lawbaugh lofted a pass into traffic downfield. Dallas Schechterly came up with it for the touchdown. Brendan Hinkle followed with the extra point. Berwick led 13-0 after 1 quarter. On the first play of the second quarter, Aiden Mason, a 3-yard touchdown run, capping a 4-play, 57-yard drive. Mason had a 37-yard run along the way. Brendan Hinkle with the extra point, 20-0 Berwick. Pittston area put together their best drive of the game, driving for their 28 to the Berwick 19-yard line, but at that point, Preston Robbins, out with an injury last week, picked off a pass ending the threat. And 4 plays later, Tegan Wilk caught a pass from Ryan Lawbaugh, raced 42 yards down this near sideline, got a great block from Aiden Mason along the way to extend Berwick's lead to 26-0 as the extra point attempt failed. 2:30 to go in the second. Berwick scored again, a 24-yard run by quarterback Ryan Lawbaugh, capping a 9-play, 70-yard drive. Lawbaugh also had a 20-yard pass to Tegan Wilk along the way. Brendan Hinkle with the extra point, 33-0 Bulldogs. The only time they didn't score the first half time winding down, they got to the 9-yard line of Pittston area on a 41-yard strike from Ryan Lawbaugh to Sean Sheptock. But Lawbaugh on the next play rolling left through to the end zone. Dylan Lakochko intercepted for Pittston area. So the halftime score was 33-0 Berwick. Pittston area started the second half with a good-looking drive. Starting at their 20, they reached the Berwick 31. But Sean Sheptock came up with the interception, his second of this young season, ending the threat. Berwick took over at the 14-yard line. And Blaine Cleaver came in at quarterback for Berwick and directed a 5-play, 86-yard touchdown drive. He started it with a 28-yard run, and he ended it with an 18-yard touchdown pass to Dallas Schechterly. Brendan Hinkle with the extra point, extending the Berwick lead to 39-0. And then the Bulldogs scored on the first play of the fourth quarter. Blaine Cleaver, a 36-yard run from the quarterback spot, capping a 9-play, 66-yard drive. Brendan Hinkle kicked the extra point. Subs came on. There was no further scoring. Berwick wins it 46-0. Stay tuned. Scores upcoming, and Andy Lickney with the stats as well. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
You haven't had the best till you've been to Romeo's Italian Submarines. Romeo's Italian Submarines, you've got to try them. Romeo's Submarines menu includes wings, wraps, and so much more. Romeo's is also home to Sasser Sweet Stop, where you can get your ice cream on. Romeo's Italian Submarines and Sasser Sweet Stop. Open till 9 Sunday through Thursday until 10 Friday and Saturday. 1306 Orange Street, Berwick. 570-752-8788.
Whether it's the heat of the preseason or the heart of the postseason, teams will always get a little boost from playing at home. Speaking of a boost at home, State Farm can boost your savings when you combine your homeowner's insurance with your auto coverage. So score one for the home team. Talk to State Farm agents Lori Powell or Sean Black in Berwick, or Melissa Price in Nescapec about big savings for combining home and car coverage. Give State Farm agents Melissa Price, Sean Black, or Lori Powell a call today.
Mason's Monogrammic Service has the biggest selection of Bulldog football items in Berwick. Mason's is family-owned and is celebrating more than 30 years in business. Get all new Bulldog wear for 2019, like tees, tanks, and polos, hoodies, sweatshirts, jackets, and caps. Even onesies and toddler tees and lots more for any Bulldog fan. Mason's also has screen printing for businesses, teams, and organizations. Mason's Monogrammic Service, 225 West Front Street, Berwick, or at masonsmonogramming.com.
Berwick Bulldog football. Bulldog football, HLM.
Domination by the Bulldogs tonight. They roll over Pittston area 46-0. Stats of tonight's game, Andy Lickney.
Over 500 yards in total offense, Jim, and most of the second half it was the number 2s and then the number 3s. 507 yards in total offense, 315 on the ground, 192 in the air for Berwick. Dominating defensive performance. I don't think the stats show it as well. They did hold this team to 20 carries for minus 12 yards rushing, but Pittston did muster 161 in the air for a net of 149 in total offense. Defense is just very strong. Dylan Lakochko, a fine running back, 10 carries for 13 yards. Franny George, a 3-yard tote. Alex Hoban had 1. Team took a kneel down. John Simons in the end, 8 yards on 3 carries as the leading ball carrier. Michael Nacito, the quarterback, 3 carries for minus 25. And punter Andrew Kravchuk, 1 carry for minus 11 as Berwick caught him in the backfield. 15 positive yards, 22 negative yards, a net of minus 7 in the first half. Doesn't get any better in the second half, a net of minus 12 for Pittston. In the air, 11 of 23. The passing game wasn't bad, some of it a bit risky. There were 2 interceptions, however, and they did get 161 yards. Andrew Kravchuk came as advertised, 2 nice catches for 50 yards in the air. Franny George caught 3 for 23. Brendan Higgins caught a 37-yard pass. Dylan Lukochko, 2 catches for 16. Joe Slisak caught 1 for 12, and Alex Anastosky, he caught 2 for 18. 161 in the air, take away 12 in the ground game, a net of 149 for the Pittston Patriots in their total offense. For Berwick, 315 on the ground, 192 in the air, 507 in all. Looking at the passing, quarterbacks sort of alternated halves. Ryan Lawbaugh did, I believe, all the passing in the first half. Yes, he did. He was 7 of 10 with the 1 interception toward the end of the half for 167. I have Blaine Cleaver going 2 for 3 in the second half. 18-yard pass to Dallas Schechterly, and Antonio Barata caught 1, so 25 yards of the total 192 of the passing. Give 167 to Ryan Lawbaugh. 192 in all. Other receivers in the first half. Tegan Wilk, he had 3 for 75, including a 42-yard touchdown. Caught at the line of scrimmage and ran 42 yards. Sean Shepchuk, he had 3 catches for 56. The big was a 41-yarder on an out and up. Sold very well. Beautiful play. Dallas Schechterly, not the guy you'd expect, but 2 touchdowns. A 36-yard reception, an 18-yard reception. A total of 54 yards on his 2 touchdown catches. Antonio Barata, as we mentioned, caught a 7-yarder from Blaine Cleaver in the second half. That gives 102 in the air on a combined 9 of 13 passing with the 1 interception for Berwick's quarterbacks. 315 on the ground. Aiden Mason did lead the way when it mattered. 10 carries, 135 yards. He had 107 at halftime, just a 1 second half carry. Blake Maurer had 3 carries for 2 yards, but included a touchdown in there. Stosh Hughes, 2 for 9. Tegan Wilk carried the ball 4 times for 32 yards. Logan Smith, we saw finishing things out, looked strong, 5 carries for 14. Eric Montez in the first half, a 6-yard burst. Alejandro Lopez, second half carrying 4 for 23. Impressive running there. And then the quarterbacks, Peyton Williams lost a yard. Blaine Cleaver had 2 carries for 64 yards, including a touchdown burst. That's a nice average to have. And Ryan Lawbaugh ran strong as well. 5 carries for 40 yards. It looks like about 8 or 9 different ball carriers on the 38 carries for 315. Quarterbacks combined for 9 of 13 for 192. Impressive high school total of 507 yards in total offense. And the defense looked strong. They took a big step this week, Jim.
And all-around dominance for the Bulldogs. We'll wrap it up here from Charlie Trippi Stadium. When we return, you're listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.